Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Shipyard. I can see people piling into chat now. Glad you could all join us. I have Krista, my wife, with me here tonight, as you can all see. Krista, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Okay.
Happy to be here.
Looks like your mic is coming in okay. Do an audio check for me real quick. Just to...
Yeah. Check, check, check. One,
Okay,
two,
good, good,
three.
good, good. I got
Which,
you. Okay.
where am I? Which side is,
There you go.
right.
There you go.
Sorry, this is
And
not my
then
setup.
we also have, obviously, my producer on voice. You all know and love him. Art, are you there?
I'm here, brother.
Okay. Art is here. He will try to grab questions throughout the show. Just remember, everyone, we kind of have a thing we're doing tonight. So I will probably get to questions, but I probably won't get to those until later in the show. So maybe even be towards the end of the show. Here's how the show is going to work tonight. I do have a giveaway going on. We're going to talk about how that's going to work and how to enter that. If you are interested in that, we'll interrupt the show several times during tonight's stream to tell you how to get into that. We're going to do the giveaway announcement stuff. I'm then going to go into the main topic stuff, which is going to be Krista rating Star Citizen ships. Again, don't know if we have any CIG devs lurking, but this should be interesting. And then after we do that for an hour and a half, maybe Krista's gonna take off, and I'll finish out the show. We'll take a little bit of time, 30, 45 minutes. We're gonna go over some new possible ship leak stuff that has come out. With a slight sprinkling of salt, some ship leak stuff, and we'll announce the giveaway winner. Okay. I see we got a bunch of people in chat. A lot of our tried and true STARJUMP community people. So nice to see you all. I see Execute from Info Runners is here. He says, "You're going to keep me honest." Well, do your best. There's it's all honesty here. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the giveaway stuff first and foremost, everybody. Just let me make sure I got all the socials out. I believe I did. We got 70 watching over on YouTube right now and another 35 over on Twitch, which is amazing for us just getting rolling here. Let's talk about the giveaway tonight. We are giving away, let me pop over to it here. We're giving away an Elysium download patch, an Elysium patch bundle. Is that what they're called? The patch bundles. Yes, the patch bundles. I can't talk tonight.
It's a patch bundle.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. Our Elysium patch bundle, which is actually the really cool one, that is the gold and black, Cutlass black paint and the sort of the, I forget what that armor set's called, but it's the gold and black version of that. And then the gold and black of the Volt LMG. I forget exactly what that gun is called, but I do have one of those. If you missed out on that, is that the Artemex armor? Thank you, Ruben Soros. Thank you very much, bud. But yeah, it's one of the cooler patch bundles. I don't think it's being sold anymore. So if you were wanting one of those and missed out on it, tonight will be your chance to get it. I do have some more patch bundles that I'm going to give away leading up again towards IAE. We're about I guess we're about 3 weeks, 4 weeks, probably about 4 weeks from IAE at this point. Obviously, Star Citizen is kind of in a weird news cycle period, but we got, giveaways to last until IAE at least. So how do you enter this giveaway? Okay. Here's how you enter the giveaway. If you're on YouTube, if you're part of our awesome YouTube community, there is a link pinned to the top of the chat, and I know Art has posted it in the chat. You can go to that link. That is to our Battle Cruiser video that I did the other day. You can leave a comment there. Hello, hi, goodbye, you're handsome. Anything you want to put in the chat, please make it positive. But put something in the chat. It can be anything. You can just put contest, whatever you want. We're going to pull a random comment from today. And then for the Twitch viewers, we were trying to figure out which way we wanted to do the giveaway, and Art suggested we do another Stream Racers. So if you are a fan of Stream Racers, we'll do a Stream Racers thing again at the end of the show. You all remember how that works. You get to do exclamation race and join the race, and we show all the cars racing. It's a lot of fun. So that's how you get in on the giveaway. So make sure to do that now. You can enter on both, by the way, so you can get in on the YouTube drawing and the Twitch drawing. I'm going to pull one random comment from YouTube, and I'm going to take the Stream Racers winner. I'm going to put you both in the random wheel of names. We're going to spin it. Whoever gets that wins. Okay. That person gets 2 days to claim the prize. If they don't, then it goes to the runner up. You all know how it works. This is how I generally run the giveaways. It's a little bit complicated because there isn't a contest platform that really supports YouTube and Twitch simultaneously, especially for live on air stuff. So there we go. Now I'm going to swing over, properly introduce my guest now that we got the giveaway stuff out of the way. Tonight, I am very lucky that my wife, Krista, has decided to come on a STARJUMP stream, something she's only heard about and witnesses and is
Right.
probably annoyed by from time to time. But, but
Not at all.
yeah, but so you have been to some STARJUMP stuff though. You came to Equinox. You
Yeah.
saw the STARJUMP booth. Art was there, a man in the booth, along with Bingo. I don't know if Bingo's in chat
Yep.
tonight, but so real quick primer on you. You are into games, but it's mostly like old school Nintendo arcade games, stuff like that.
Yes. Yes.
Not
Child
in,
of the 80s.
yeah,
So
child of the 80s. Not into the new stuff really. And you don't and Juarez, thank you for
although
the
I
follow.
will say I appreciate it. I appreciate new gaming stuff. I just maybe it's just not as much my bag.
Right, right. Socially Confused, one of our regulars, says, "How did I con you into doing this?" She was just very nice and said she would do it. So it's
Yeah,
actually an
this is my
idea I've had.
first stream
Yeah,
too ever. I
that's
think
true.
I do virtual calls all the time, but this is a little bit different.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah.
true. Thank you very much, Truther. Appreciate you. So two prototype, thank you for the follow. You don't know here. Let's go to Star Citizen though for a minute. You really don't know much about Star Citizen at all. Like you know,
Not really.
yeah, you know StarJump. You know the Fleet Viewer thing. You've seen a bit about that. You've actually met Gavin Rothery, because
Yeah.
who's a ship designer, is a freelance ship designer for CIG, because he did something for our work, because me and you worked together at the same
Yep.
production studio, and he did something for that, and so you've talked to Gavin before. So
Yes. Yeah. Which is
and
very cool. Thanks,
yeah,
Gavin.
yeah. So the other thing is, why am I doing this, right? Well, for two reasons. One, it's kind of a weird news period for Star Citizen because we just had CitizenCon, which was the big event in October, and then there's kind of a quietness, and then at the end of November is IAE, or the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, which is the other big event of the year. So in between that, there's not a lot of news to talk about. Now, of course, there is Evocati going on. Krista, you don't need to know anything about that. They are testing some of the Nix stuff. I know some of you have been testing it. Some of you lucky ones that are in Evocati. By the way, if anyone from CIG is watching, I'd love to be added to Evocati. But hopefully you're all having a good time in it. I know that testing has been going on. So, but generally this time period is a little quiet. So I wanted to do something just kind of fun, just kind of different, and bring someone on who doesn't know anything about Star Citizen, really doesn't know anything about the manufacturers, the ships, any of that stuff, but someone who does have an understanding of design, production, marketing, all that stuff. Without going into any specifics on your career, obviously, Krista, you have worked in film and television production for as long as I have. You've worked at some of the biggest production companies in the world. You've worked alongside artists who have worked on everything from Mad Max to some of the most famous TV commercials out
Guardians
there.
of the Galaxy. Yeah, you name it.
Guardians of the
Yes, I've had
Galaxy,
a
everything
very,
else.
very lucky career.
Yeah. So you do, and the reason I say that is that you do understand design, you do understand marketing, and there's some marketing stuff we're going to be going over here.
Yep.
So with that, I'm going to switch over to this image here and kind of introduce you to the Star Citizen ship sheet. Now, this was just updated, just posted this on the community hub. By the way, everyone go to the Robert Space Industries community hub. This image and another image I created are on the community hub. Please go give them an upvote. They are currently trending, and I did see that Sandy Roberts gave them the old thumbs up, so thank you, Sandy, if you end up watching this. But go give them the thumbs up. Hopefully they'll be on the newsletter on Monday. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to pick 2 to 3 manufacturers, and I'm going to walk you, Krista, through each. I'm going to walk you through a little bit of what the manufacturer is and what their vibe is from
All
a
right.
sort of a marketing standpoint. And then we're going to go through each ship of that manufacturer, and I'm going to give you a 1 to 2 liner elevator pitch for what that ship does, right? Like,
Okay.
is it a mining ship? Is it a combat ship? Is it for like a new player? Is it for an org? Is it for like you and a bunch of your friends? I'm going to give you kind of some details on the ship, and
Okay.
you will rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being you really love it, and you may not even know really why you love it. You just may like the look
Okay.
of it. You may love
Okay.
something I described about it. Okay. You're not
All
going to
right.
have all the information. I think we can all agree she's not going to have all the information. Star System's been in development for 3,000 years, and there's so much information that there's no way you could take all of that in to make what I would call proper choices on the ships. But
Wonderful.
that's why it's good that you're viewing this from your position, because there's a lot of new players that are going to come into this game over the next year that do not have the 10-year backlog of information needed to make decisions on ships. I
Okay.
know Execute from the Info Runners has said this before. The CIG has said that most people buy ships based off their looks, for example, right? So that's kind of how we're approaching this. Okay, so this will be interesting. So I don't know how many manufacturers we'll get through tonight, everyone. We're not going to get through them all. Consider this part one. We'll do a part two later. But part one, we're going to pick 3 manufacturers, and I don't know if we'll get through all 3 of them. But the first manufacturer we're going to do is Drake Interplanetary, my favorite manufacturer. The second manufacturer is Origin, which is a big contrast. I'm going to go into those 2 manufacturers in a minute. And the third manufacturer will be Crusader, smaller manufacturer. And so those are the 3 we're going to focus on tonight. When we do a part 2, we'll focus on 3 other manufacturers. Okay. So,
All right.
Krista, as you can
Gosh,
see,
I hope I don't embarrass myself
you
here.
won't. You won't. There is no embarrassing yourself. All opinions are good. Look,
All right.
there's people that know tons about these spaceships that can't agree on what the best ships are. So don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay.
You
No
know,
pressure, right?
there are people in this community that have been studying these ships for a decade, and they will still argue about some of the most basic facts about those ships. So don't worry. Um,
All right.
Again, everyone, thanks for tuning in tonight. We got 60 over on Twitch now and 126 on YouTube. People are piling in. Thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight. I know a lot of you are probably busy playing Battlefield and Arc Raiders, but I'm glad you're stopping over and hanging out with us a little bit. So these are all the manufacturers, Krista. There are a lot. CIG has just recently added another manufacturer to the list. And the way the manufacturers are done in this game is it is a sort of a true manufacturer in that they are within lore a manufacturer, right? So take Drake Interplanetary. Drake is an entity in the game. They have a backstory, they have a lot of lore surrounding them, and they manufacture a lot of ships. And their ships all kind of have a look to them, right? Why? Because they're all sort of branded in the same way. They all sort of have the same manufacturer vibe. This would be the same thing that you would be familiar with as like a brand guideline for the clients we work with on a daily
That's
basis.
kind of what I was going to ask. Is it like meant to be a cohesive kind of
It is.
grouping
It's meant to be
of
a
ships?
cohesive
Okay.
sort of thing. Now,
Cool.
there are edge cases. There are, ships that sometimes look like they don't fit within that brand. So that aside, though, that's how CIG does these manufacturers. I've always loved that aspect of the game. I love how there's these manufacturers, and those manufacturers have a certain look and feel and vibe. Some of the manufacturers are very like blue collar, some are very bougie, some are very high tech, some are down and dirty, some are alien. There's a whole bunch of manufacturers that lean a certain direction. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So we're
What if I
gonna
have questions about what's inside the ship? I mean, we're not going to
right.
get too into that,
Well,
I assume, but
we're not going to get too into that, but there are going to be some
yeah.
ships that I'll highlight. I may say, hey, this is a
Okay.
single seater fighter. And that usually just means that there's a single seat in it. They get in it like they would like a fighter jet. There isn't really an interior.
Yeah.
There may be other
All right.
ships, though, where I say, hey, this ship is for 2 to 3 people, 2 and 3 of your friends. It's got a small interior, a bathroom, an eating area, some bunk rooms, whatever. There are some ships, though, that are for crews of 20, 30 people. And I'll say this ship has blank, 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 and blank inside of it. You know what I mean? You won't be able to see the inside because we don't do that on Fleet
Right,
Viewer,
right,
but you will see the
right, right,
exterior.
right. Okay.
Um,
Cool.
okay, here we go. We're going to get started, everybody. Don't forget the contest. Don't forget to enter that. We're going to get started, though. We're going to switch over to our first manufacturer, which is Drake Interplanetary. Now, let's talk a little bit about Drake before we jump into the ships that Drake manufactures. Now, one other thing I'll point out, Krista, is that some of these ships are in game now, meaning
Okay.
players who have purchased
Right.
them
They're
can
available.
play them. There are other ships that have been sold as a concept by CIG, but actually haven't been put in the game yet. Okay. Now, CIG
Okay.
has stopped that practice. They're only doing ships now that go straight into the game. But for many, many years, they would sell you a concept ship. You may purchase it, and it may be a year later or 8 years later that it actually lands in game.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Which, so
Okay.
it was kind of a
Gotcha.
controversial thing. That's why CIG is going to flight ready only. So let's talk
All
about Drake
right.
Interplanetary. Drake Interplanetary is, back in the old days, was kind of considered the pirate manufacturer in a way. They manufactured low-cost ships that that definitely had an appeal to pirates and ne'er-do-wells and the criminals of the verse. Now, Drake didn't try to make ships directly for them, but kind of made ships indirectly for them. Over time, CIG has started to change the sort of backstory to Drake Interplanetary. And to me, they're sort of becoming the for the people manufacturer or the blue collar manufacturer. They're meant to appeal to sort of everyone, right? Um,
Okay.
there is a military organization in the game's story too, known as the UEE Navy. That is essentially the equivalent of our armed forces. While some manufacturers are able to get military contracts for some of the ships they make, Drake has not been able to get a military contract. So there's sort of like the redheaded stepchild of the bunch. Sorry if I offended with anyone with that, but they're kind of that. But again,
Okay.
my favorite manufacturer. So we're going to jump into it here.
Cool.
We're
All
going to
right.
start with the smallest of the
Oh, that's
vehicles,
precious.
and that is the mule, which you can see right here. Okay. It is a
Cool.
small single person drivable vehicle meant to move cargo around. It's only 4 meters long, so it's very, very small. Has a crew of 1 and an SCU of 2. SCU is means how many cargo units it can carry. Okay. So it can carry 2 cargo
Okay.
units. And there it is. Tiny little
All right.
vehicle.
So this is like the car that you would use for like just running to the grocery store to grab some things, or
Yeah, or
it's your A to B.
move things
I'm
around
kidding.
on a base, etc. This is very small.
Okay.
Think of it like golf cart size. Where would you rate this based off the information I have told you?
Right. I think that's kind of cool. It's like, yeah, I mean, I know it's small, it's little, it's probably
Hmm.
small and mighty, but I'm gonna say maybe an 8.
Okay, you're
Um,
saying an 8. Okay,
yeah, I mean,
that's a
it
pretty
kind of
good.
looks.
That's a good score.
Is that good? Okay, cool. Is
Okay,
that pretty high? Okay,
that's pretty good.
I
But
just think it's cool.
the
It
mule's
looks kind of
fun.
neat.
The
Okay.
mule is fun. Um, Now we're going to move, and again, we're going to move along. Some ships we're going to spend a lot of time on, though. Some we're not going to spend much time on, like the mule's very
Okay.
simple. So the next, we're
Fair
going to talk
enough.
about sort of 3 ships. They're part of a series, and it's the cutter. Okay. There's 3 different versions of the cutter. There's the base cutter, there's the cutter scout, and the cutter rambler. Okay. And I'm going to go through what they are. So the cutter is a 20-meter long ship. It's got 1 pilot, so you fly it, but it's got room to take maybe 1 friend with you. Okay. But it's still primarily
Okay.
meant as a single pilot seat or single pilot ship, but it does have a very small interior. It has a little bed in it, it has a little kitchen area in it, some room to store some cargo, small interior.
Okay.
Um,
Cool.
it's considered a starter ship, right? So a starter ship would be one of the first ships someone who's going to try out Star Citizen would buy, right? They're usually pretty
Right.
cheap at like $45. You get the game, you get this little ship, you can do missions in it. So let's talk about the cutter. I'm going to zoom in on these. Let's start with the base one. There is the ship, so you can see it. Some people consider it an ugly ship. I like it, but you tell me what you think.
Well, it's fun. I don't think it's ugly. It actually. Does this sound weird? It looks like a little like the front of it's trying to be kind of has this like mean look, a little
Kind of an
intimidating for such a
aggressive,
little
yeah.
for a little ship.
And
Yeah,
I've heard
no,
that a lot
I'm
about
not
all Drake ships. All Drake ships have a little bit of an
right.
aggressive look, yeah.
They got like a little attitude, but no,
Some
it's a cool ship. I'm not hating on it, but maybe now I'm feeling like I give the mule a little too much. too
It's
high of a
okay.
score.
It's okay.
Because yeah, to me, maybe this is like an 8.2 or something.
Okay.
Cool ship.
Okay.
Um, looks a little badass for being such a small ship.
Okay.
Um,
You feel good at 8.2?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna stick with that. I'm gonna stick with that.
Now we're going to roll over. Now the
Cool on the
Cutter
first go.
Scout is the same thing as the Cutter,
Hmm.
only instead of being just sort of an all-arounder, right? Thank you, Ice here, for
Okay.
the follow. Instead of being sort of an all-arounder general purpose ship that does a little bit of everything, which is what the Cutter does, the Cutter Scout focuses on scanning gameplay. So this
Hmm.
ship's job is to go out, scan an area, see if there's any other ships around, resources around, stuff like that. So it's a scanning ship. You can see the little radar dish here on top, and it'll plug into that gameplay. So again, these ships you can also judge on gameplay interest or just looks, however you want to judge it. Everything's the same on
Yeah.
this ship. There, with the different roles, there will be some interior differences. So, for example, this ship has a little scanning station inside of it that another player or the pilot can use to do the scanning gameplay. So, where would you put
Okay.
this?
I'm gonna go with like an 8.1, 8.1.
Okay.
I think it's cool. It's a nice little ship. Um, doesn't have quite the aggressive look of maybe the first one,
Yeah.
which I think is kind of cool. I don't know.
It.
It's a little more intimidating the
Yeah.
first one,
They do
which I
have
like in a ship.
some.
I don't know,
Yeah, you'll see some
but
changes too whenever they do these variants. So it's like, for example, this one's got the little winglets here. It's got a different color
yeah,
scheme.
yeah.
This one's
I think
got,
it's the color scheme too.
yeah,
Not that there's anything wrong with it. I like it. I like it a
yeah.
lot, but maybe I'm a little more partial to the darker
Okay.
ships.
That's fine. That's fine. This needs to be from the point of view of someone coming into the game who really doesn't
I,
know
I know nothing.
how to judge these. So all right, now we're going to go to the third variant of this ship, which is the Cutter Rambler. Now, the Rambler is an exploration starter. Exploration gameplay in Star Citizen is a bit weird, to be totally honest with you, because it's not really in the game.
Okay.
They don't really have that gameplay loop in the game. But generally, the way I think of exploration Star Citizen is it's really more just a series of attributes than more than anything else. Exploration ships generally are meant to go a little further in distance. They are generally meant to go, they'll usually have additional crew accommodations like a bed or maybe a little kitchen area. They'll generally just have a little bit more like quality of life stuff going on inside them, so you can travel a little bit further. Some bigger exploration focused ships do have better scanners and other things to go along with that exploration gameplay, but that's what the Cutter Rambler is. Now, one thing I will say is there is a little bit of controversy over like the Cutter Rambler versus the Cutter in terms of like, is there too much like is there too little of a difference between the two? But yeah, it's got longer range and a more cozy interior, as Bola says in chat. So where would you rate this one?
Yeah. Well, it's funny you said that because I do feel like it reminded me a lot of the first one that I was looking at, and
Yeah.
I'd almost give it the same score.
Okay.
Um, for that
So we were
reason,
at
they're not. They're
8.2 for
they're.
this one.
Yeah, I feel. Yeah, it feels like a slight variation of that first one, but
Okay.
still cool. I like it. Still kind of cool, kind of dark.
That's
I like that
okay.
pop of yellow. That's
Yep.
cool.
Yep. And we'll give a big shout out to Josh, VMXEO, for nailing out these renders. Thank you, Josh. Okay, so that's the Cutter series. So
Cool.
you've rated
All
some of
right.
the first sort of starter ships of Drake Interplanetary. Now we're going to go to another series. This is a fun one because this will take a little bit of this will require a little bit of explanation. So I'm going to zoom all the way down to the Dragonfly. So this is the Dragonfly. This is a two-seater. Think of this as more of like a motorbike, right?
Okay.
It's not really a ship. It doesn't really fly into space from the surface of a planet or anything like that. It's more like something that you would put inside of another ship and use to get around the
Mm,
surface of the planet. This one does fly in space, but you can't go from like
okay.
surface to space with it. It's one or the other. You're sort of, it's really just like a little bit of it's kind of like a motorcycle or like a hover motorcycle. Okay. These pads
Okay.
underneath here hover over the ground. You can see the two seats here. It's got a little bit of cargo place. It's got some guns on it. You're meant to be able to kind of like, roam around the surface of a planet on this thing, sort of like a Star Wars speeder. Thank you, Socially Confused. So where would you
Oh yeah.
rate the Dragonfly?
Cool. I like this one. It's pretty cool for, I mean, not as badass as some of the other ships, but it's funny. Part of it looks almost like a I'm just gonna say it, like almost like gun-like
Yeah.
nature.
Yeah, it kinda does look like a
Um,
gun, actually. Yeah.
right? A little bit like the front of it,
Yep.
but
That's a good
I'll
point.
give it. I'm gonna give it a solid like an 8
Okay,
for
hey,
this little guy.
I
Yeah,
think I think, uh, I
I'm gonna
think
be
we got a
generous. I'm gonna give it an 8. I
I
think
think
it's
we
pretty
could
cool. It's,
I think we got a Drake lover, everybody. I think we got a Drake lover. Okay, so Dragonfly.
I
Now
don't know what that. I don't know what that does. Is that a good thing or
yeah, so, again, this
okay?
is the
Good
Dragonfly,
thing. That.
sometimes known as the Dragonfly Black, but I just call it the Dragonfly. Now,
Cool.
there's another variant of this called the Dragonfly Star Kitten. It is literally the same
I
exact
see.
vehicle, only this one's got kind of a wild paint job. So
Right.
this one you have to judge purely based off the paint. Do you like it or do you not like it?
Uh, okay, so I could see people really liking this. It's cool, and it feels a little bit like the. I don't know if I should say this.
It's okay,
Feels a
say
little
it.
Hello Kitty, a little
It's
Hello Kitty.
very,
Hang it.
very obviously there's a reference there. Yep.
Okay, cool. But I mean, hey, I like it. I think it's cool that you have a pink ship at all. That's dope.
Hmm.
So I'll probably give this an 8 as well. Although, no, I'll give it a 7.9 just because maybe it's a little cutesy for a ship that the front of it looks like it could be a gun.
Yep.
But
7.9. Okay. We are
I still like it.
our
Yeah.
first sub 8 score. Very nice. Starting to get specific here. I like it. 7.9. Okay,
All
now we're
right.
gonna go to the
All right.
third variant. This one is called the Dragonfly Yellow Jacket. It's literally like the other two, only it's got
Same
yellow
thing.
on it.
Yeah.
No different. What's your
I'll give it
thoughts?
I'll give that a 7.9 too, just
Okay.
because not that
S-
I dislike the color. Again, I can see how someone might like that, but
Well, I can see you like the punk rock colors. You like the dark
I
colors. All
do.
right.
I didn't think that I would as much, but no, I think I do. But
All right.
yeah, those
So
are both cool versions of it though. I like it. Good cool variations, I think, if you
okay.
want something a little different.
So the next three ships we're going to tackle are going to be a lot more specific in terms of the gameplay loop they tie into. So the mule, the cutters, the dragonflies, they're all kind of a little general purposey with the exception
Okay.
of the cutter scout, but all kind of general. Now we're going to get a little bit more specific, okay? So the golem. The golem is the next ship we're going to look at. Now this is a single um VMXCO. I don't know if you're watching. We need to update the Golem. I forgot I'm using my old one. This is the Golem. It is a single seater, meaning there's no interior. It's just for one pilot. This is a mining ship. So it's a little
Okay.
hard to see here, but it's got this giant arm on it that folds out. And this thing is meant to
Cool.
mine asteroids, mine rocks, all that stuff. It fills these giant tanks underneath here. It then flies those tanks to refinery centers and processes that ore. So this is this is like an industry starter. So for example, if a new player wants to play Star Citizen, but they know they want to be a
Hmm.
miner, let's say their friend says, "Oh, you should come and mine and Star Citizen's a
Pardon
lot of
my.
fun."
Yeah.
This is a ship they should look at because it is a miner, but it is a starter ship. It's 15 meters long, so it's small. It's kind of still a small ship.
Cool. Yeah.
Um, what's your thoughts on the Golem?
This is so funny. I'm just gonna tell you what comes to mind. So like love it or hate it, but
Okay,
it's like the Swiss Army knife little ship.
it is. Yep.
um, right?
It kind of
So
unfolds a little bit like that. Yep.
right, yeah, I thought that's kind of cool. I'm gonna give it like an 8.2.
An 8 point, dang, that's pretty good. Because this,
Not
some
bad.
people think this ship's ugly, but that's okay. 8.2.
I'm judging it not just on its look, but maybe its functionality as well.
Yeah.
It's cool that it
Okay.
kind of transforms and does other
Mhm.
cool things,
And I will say,
but
there's
yeah,
a, there's
it's a yeah.
there's a lot of professions. And hey, Citizen Spooner's in chat. Citizen Spooner, hope you're doing well, everyone. Make sure you check out Citizen Spooner. Art, maybe we can give Citizen Spooner a shout out. Art, Citizen Spooner has a big channel as well. Um, so real
Am I
quick,
being too nice, by the
no,
way? Am I
no, you can get critical on these ships though. There's some ships
okay?
that people hate. So I will say this though. There's multiple gameplay loops in Star Citizen. There's combat, there's bounty hunting, there's mining, there's salvaging, which is like breaking apart stuff like old ships and taking the resources from them. Mining, you're mining rocks to get resources from them. There's cargo running. So there's literally ships that are meant
Mm,
to just transport cargo. There are ships that do scanning. There's ships that do hacking. There's ships that are meant to carry other ships, like carrier ships. So
right.
when a ship does tie into a specific gameplay loop, um, it's got kind of a niche function, right? It mean like this
Mhm.
ship here, it's a mining ship. It can only
Yeah.
mine. That's what it does. You really don't
Right.
take this ship into combat. You don't run cargo with it. It can't do any of that. It can only mine. But a general purpose ship can't mine at all, right? So ships have roles and functions that other ships don't, right?
Okay.
All
I
right.
feel like I'm gonna see some like really badass ships later and be like,
You might.
"Ooh, did I
You might.
give some of these a little too high of a
That's
score?"
okay.
But
That's okay. That's okay.
no
Um,
take backs.
if
So
Drake ends up getting all 8+ scores, that's fine because Drake is an awesome manufacturer. Next
okay,
ship we're
cool.
looking at is the
Ooh.
Buccaneer. The Buccaneer is a single seat ship. Again, no interior. One pilot sits in it, and it's a combat ship. This is a light fighter. I hope I
Mhm.
got that right. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. It's a light or medium fighter. I'm pretty sure it's a light fighter. Either way, light fighter. Um, it's meant to go out there and kick some butt, right? It's very fast in one direction. You can tell that because of the massive engines on it. Um, there you go. That is the Buccaneer. What do you think?
No, I think the massive engines make it pretty dope,
Yeah.
pretty cool. I like it. It's kinda slick.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like the,
Fingers is right. Fingers is right. They actually call this an interceptor. That's what it is. I called it a light fighter. It's an
okay.
interceptor. It's meant to be fast because it's supposed to intercept other ships and take them down before those ships can cause problems.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna give this like an 8.5. I think it's kinda
8.5.
cool.
Oh, okay. We got a
Just
Buccaneer fan. All right. Very cool.
yeah,
The the
yeah,
the
it looks like
Buccaneer
it's gonna kick some butt for a smaller ship, you
Yeah, the
know?
Buccaneer is one of the older ships, but people really do like it. Again, it doesn't
Yeah,
carry cargo, doesn't do any other gameplay. It's meant to destroy it. Okay. And
cool.
I
Yeah.
should point out there are ship commercials. Someone just brought this up in chat, and I'm gonna pull up one. We're not gonna watch these because the show would have to be 14 hours long. But I'm gonna show you one of them. Okay.
Um,
Um, now you won't be able to hear anything because of how we've got the stream set up.
okay.
But what I'm going to do real quick here is I'm going to bring this over. I'm going to bring something over. You'll be able to see it. Um, can you see the window I just brought in? The YouTube video? Is that playing on your screen or no?
Oh, yeah, yep.
Okay. So I'm just going to play this. For this next ship we're looking at, the Vulture, every time CIG releases a new ship, they actually make a commercial for it, right? They actually make a commercial for it. And this is the commercial for the Vulture. Again, I'm not going to play the audio. Everyone, the audio is not on, but you can see here some wreckage and you can see a Vulture right there that we just passed. And it's
Oh,
sort of showing the Vulture doing its role, right? It's showing the Vulture, and that's another salvage ship. But essentially, this commercial is meant to show the spirit of the Vulture, right? Why did CIG put out a commercial for it? Because they need to sell them, right? So when a new ship comes into the game, the ship is sold to everybody for real money. So people will watch these commercials and get a sense if this ship is right for them. So you can see here the Vulture's doing its salvaging, it's doing its processing of the salvage material. It shows the person in there flying the ship, sort of shows what the inside of the ship looks like. The idea there is to obviously you've worked in marketing for a long time. You know how marketing materials can sometimes be a little dazzled up past what the reality is. And that's sort of what these commercials are. They sometimes show things in a light that's almost a little like exciting to see. Like you watch
yeah.
the commercial and you're like, oh man, I really want that. You know what I mean? And you'll see
Mhm.
here at the end, you'll see that it says Vulture and as a motion graphics animation, Drake Interplanetary Power to the People. And then there's a link there to go and purchase the Drake Vulture. Okay. So they
Okay.
make these commercials in lore with the manufacturer to sell the ships. Okay. So
Makes sense.
here is that ship. Now, this is the Drake Vulture. It is a salvage ship, meaning it's meant to go
Okay.
out to wrecked ships and tear them apart and grab the resources from them, which it can then sell those resources for money or build things out of those resources. It's got a crew of one. It can hold 12 SCU of cargo in its rear end. It's 33 meters long now, so we're starting to get, all these ships are to scale here. So you can see the Buccaneer is
Getting a
quite a
little
bit
bigger.
smaller than a
Okay.
Vulture. So on the Vulture, for example, this little area here is where the person sits. It's actually got a full interior that the person can walk around in. Okay. Um, that is the Vulture. It is one of my favorite ships. I'm gonna get a little biased here. I just love it. It looks like a piece of construction heavy equipment. Um, so what do you think of the Vulture?
Do you want to hear something funny? I thought right away.
Sure.
The pieces in the front look like a hot hair tool.
They
Like
they
it's
kinda
gonna
do.
straighten my hair with
Yes.
this.
You this ship
No,
also does straighten hair.
but it is cool looking, and just
Yeah.
seeing what it does is kind of badass. So it kind of changed my mind. At first, I was like, yeah, it's a hair straightener,
There you go.
but no, it kind of does some badass stuff. Kind of cool. I like that it's as much as I'm liking the darker ships and stuff like that. I like that it's still kind of badass, but not in this like real obvious black or dark color.
Yep. It's meant
I'm
to
gonna
look
give it.
industrial. It's meant to
Yeah,
tie
yeah.
lean into that industrial
I
look. Yep.
totally understand your construction reference as well.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll give this like maybe an 8.2 as well.
Okay. Okay. Someone said
Cool.
I started off with the bias because I said it was my favorite ship, and that is true. That's true. So sorry, you said an 8.2?
True. I'm gonna give it an 8.2.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll go with
not
8.2.
bad, not bad.
There we go. Drake Vulture.
Maybe a little more because of the functionality of it and
Okay.
it just being kind of a cool ship. But
Salvage is a great profession. It's one that I really
hmm
enjoy in the game. It's fun to do. To me, salvage is that gameplay loop in the game that you can do while watching a YouTube video. You have a drink. It doesn't require a lot. Where something like combat, you know, it requires you to like be dialed in. You know what I mean? You cannot be
okay,
distracted. So there we go. Vulture. All right.
cool.
Now we're gonna go up to probably one of the most popular ships in the entire game, and that is it's a series of ships known as the Cutlass series. Okay, and while there are these other three variants over here, first and foremost we're going to talk about the OG, the original, the one everyone knows and loves, and this is the Cutlass Black. Okay, now this is a medium ship. It's meant to carry you and maybe two of your friends, so about a crew of three maybe. It's got multiple seats in it. It's got beds in it. It's got a little cargo room in it. It's got a little galley, a bathroom, all that kind of good stuff. I think it has a bathroom. Chat, remind me, does the Cutlass have a bathroom? Doesn't matter. Either way, it's got, as you can see, it's got turrets
Okay.
for other players to jump on the guns with.
Oh, cool.
It's a
Yeah,
general
cool.
purpose ship, so it can carry a little cargo. It can fight other ships a little bit if needed. You can do a variety of things in it. It's probably not the best ship at everything. It's very general purpose. You know what I mean? Um,
Right.
good general purpose type of ship. So um, this is what's kind of considered a starter plus. So this is one of those ships that when you come into the game for the first time, you might purchase this as your first ship. You have to pay a little bit more for it. It's around the $100 markish, somewhere around that $110. But so you're paying a little bit more of a premium for it, but you're buying a ship that you and your friends can fly around together in, if that makes sense.
Okay.
What's your thoughts on the Cuddy Black?
Yeah.
And we call
It's
these
slick.
Cuddies, even though the full name's Cutlass,
Yeah.
everyone just calls them Cuddy.
Okay. Yeah, it's slick. I feel like it has a little more cool factor.
It's very cool.
um,
I love the ship.
right? Yeah.
These engines
I'm gonna.
here on the back, they rotate down, all kinds of cool stuff. Infinity, thank you
That's
for the follow.
great. Yeah. I'm gonna go. I don't know why I'm gonna go like 8.6 with this one.
Wise, very wise.
Eight. Okay.
Very
That's
wise.
great. But
It's a
yeah, but I
solid
think it's cool. Like,
it's a solid ship. I mean,
yeah.
there's been a lot newer there's been a lot newer starter plus ships that have come out. But this ship is still popular amongst players. It really is. Um,
Okay. I can
now
see
we're going to
why.
go to the first variant, okay?
All right.
And by the way, everyone, thank you for all the chatter and stuff. Really appreciate how active chat is. Sorry, it's been a little hard for me to follow along with any questions that have been asked, but I know Art's doing a great job manning the chat for me. Thank you very much, Art. We've got 80 viewers over on Twitch tonight, which is absolutely great with no raids, and we have 192 watching on YouTube. So we got about almost 300 people watching, 270 or so people
Awesome.
watching. So appreciate it. Um,
Cool.
Continuing on, our next. Oh, by the way, everyone, if you just come in, don't forget we are doing a giveaway tonight. We're doing a giveaway for the Elysium patch bundle, which contains the really cool black and gold paint for the ship we're talking about now, the Cutlass series, as well as the black and gold armor and the black and gold gun. Again, one of my favorites in terms of just liveries. If you want to get in on that, on YouTube, there is a link pinned to the top of chat. Just go to that link. It's my battle cruiser video. Just leave a message on that video. It could be hi, hello, goodbye, you're amazingly handsome, whatever you want to write. Put that in there. I'm going to pull a random comment after at the end of the show. And then for you Twitch viewers, don't worry, I haven't forgotten you. We're going to do a stream racers at the end of the show. We'll pull both winners from both groups. We're going to put you in the wheel of names, spin the wheel of names, and whoever wins it, wins it. Okay, here we go. Continuing on.
All right.
Moving to the next in the variants, you can see there's some design differences here, primarily in the cockpit area. You can see slightly different windscreens, and the interiors of these ships are different, but the Cutlass Blue, I guess the way you could consider this, Krista, is it's like a bounty hunting ship or like a sort of a law enforcement ship, right? It's got, actually, chat, remind me, has this got quantum dampeners on it? Art, maybe you know. Does the blue have quantum dampeners?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, cool. So quantum dampener, this ship can prevent other ships from quantum jumping or sort of like going to light speed, whatever, to leave the area. And the reason it has that quantum dampener technology on it is so that it can hold ships in place while this ship attempts to apprehend whoever is wanted on that ship. Maybe it's a bounty, maybe it's, someone who's got a bounty on their head, whatever. So that's what this ship does. Again, 2 to 3 crew members. It's got a small interior area, but it's just got instead of more of a general purpose ship like the Cutlass Black, this one's a little bit more focused on bounty hunting and law enforcement activities. And it's got that quantum dampener in it that the Cutlass Black does not have. So what do you think of the Cuddy Blue?
Well, Grim, it has something else more important than that.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
That would be the wee-woo lights.
Oh yes, it has wee-woo lights. It has police lights that go red, blue, red, blue. So everyone likes to point that out. Yes, it does have the wee-woo lights.
Cool. Which I actually like. And I like the color of this ship a lot, actually. I think it's kind of dope.
Hudson Hawk says that the Cuddy was designed by the lady who created the Razor Crest, which is the Mandalorian ship in the Mandalorian show. I didn't know that, but there you go. Very cool.
Oh, interesting.
Thank you, Eddie, for the follow. Go ahead, Krista.
I'm going to give this maybe like an 8.7.
8.7.
I think it's kind of cool. It's cool that it's a law enforcement ship.
This is our current. This is our current front runner then. 8.7 for the Cuddy Blue. All right.
Yeah, I think it looks cool. I like that color blue. It's like a slate blue. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It does badass stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, and you can see how the regular Cuddy Black, since it has a bigger cargo area, it can do 46 SCU, while these other variants, because they have other stuff in them, its cargo areas are much smaller, so it can only do 12. So you can see how those interior differences sort of pop up.
Okay.
Next variant, the Cutlass Red.
Red.
Okay, and you can see by some of the labeling here, this is essentially an ambulance ship. So some of the interior has been changed to sort of like medical beds for low level medical treatment. I won't get into the medical system in Star Citizen, but this is supposed to treat people more on a lower level. So think more like an ambulance, not a hospital. It's more like an ambulance ship.
Okay.
All the other stats are the same, but that's the focus here on this one. Thoughts on the Cuddy Red?
All right. Well, I mean, it looks cool. It's great that it's a rescue ship, but maybe not as badass as some of the other ones. I'll go with like, let's say an 8.4. Like, you look cool. Okay. You look badass. I like the red.
8.4.
Feeling it.
Yep. That's it's not as cool as the other Cuddy.
Not as badass, but still like the look of it's cool and the color's cool.
Now, this next one I'm really excited to get your opinion on. This is a very, very controversial variant, by the way. And by the way, all these Cuddies, to give you a cost difference, those cutters that we saw at the very beginning, remember these small ships, the little cutters? Those are about that $45, $50 range. Correct me if I'm wrong, Art. I think they start around there, or maybe a little bit more, 60 maybe. The Cutlass series, you're starting to get into like $110, $125, somewhere in that neighborhood. So the next one in the series is very controversial. There's a lot of people that hate this ship. Some people say it's way too expensive because it is kind of pricey. Some people say it's
Okay.
completely unneeded. The next one is the Cutlass Steel. And the Cutlass Steel is a gunship dropship variant of the Cutlass. So what is a dropship in Star Citizen? It means it's got an area with a bunch of drop seats in it that ground troopers can sit in, so that this can land on the surface of a planet during a battle, drop all those soldiers off so they can go fight on foot, and then this thing will take off and use suppressive fire from the air to help protect them. Okay? There are certain gameplay loops in Star Citizen and certain manufacturer types that have a premium added to their real world price because of reasons. This is one of those that has a premium applied to it because it is a drop ship. For some reason, drop ships have a premium. So yeah, very controversial ship. Some people love it. Some people hate it. As a person that doesn't know much about this game, though, I want to know your opinion on the Cutlass Steel. So it can carry a lot of people, can
Right.
carry like 15 people inside of it because of those drop ships, which means it has life support to support those 15 people or so. I forget exact how many, but it's way more than the 2 to 3 a regular Cutlass can carry, and it's got additional weaponry on it. So what's your thoughts on this one?
Cool. I mean, overall, like at a glance, I think it looks kind of slick.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the controversies
Well,
are,
here, let me get so
but
the Cutlass
yeah.
Black I think is like $110, and it's kind of a good general purpose ship, can do a little
Okay.
bit for everyone. The Cutlass Steel I think is exploit. I'm going with your number. I think it's $235 for this ship. So you're paying almost
More.
$120 more for this ship
It
that doesn't really do much other than carry
right.
people to the ground. So that's where the controversy is.
Yeah. I mean, and I see it's almost like it looks really cool and slick,
Does
and
look
yeah,
cool.
I can see why they charge you a little more. It's like the upcharge for the look, but like the function isn't there. So I don't know. Maybe I'll give this an 8.2.
8.2. Okay.
Cool factor, but
Okay. It does have a cool
yeah, I don't
factor to it. That's hard to deny.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's got a
it's
cool factor.
I love that. Like is that the engines on the back? Oh my
Yep.
God, forgive me.
So
I
these
sound
are
like a
the two main
moron.
engines on
But
the back, and they
yeah, they kind of
rotate.
look a little
So they can,
transformer like or
yep,
something cool.
they
So
can
yeah,
rotate
coolness factor for
down
sure.
and give it like vertical takeoff and landing sort of thrust, so it can like hover in place
Gotcha.
better. They can rotate down. And it's got a
Gotcha. But it
ramp
sounds
that,
like you're paying extra for like the paint job or something.
yeah, and it's got a
Right.
ramp in the back. It's got a ramp in the back that drops so all the troops can
Okay.
run off and all that kind of stuff. It's got these side doors that are open right now in this image. You can see people can jump off there. There's guns that fold out for suppressive fire. So it has got some different internals. The big thing with this one is just the cost sort of throws people off from time to time. Again,
Right.
thank you for all
Right.
the follows, everyone. Chaos, thank you very much.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe you telling me that skewed me a little, but
Yeah,
it still is a cool looking chip, like
it's
of the four.
very
But
cool. I love the Cutlass series. And these are
yeah,
36
it's like
meters long, all of them. Again, they're based off the same hull. That's why they're variants of each other. They're sort of based off the same hull. There's usually minor differences, usually
oh, that's
interior differences, and some exterior differences. But generally, you can see they're sort of based off the same
but see,
hull
looking
design.
at that score now, I feel like maybe I should have given that like an 8.5 or an 8.6.
Which one? Which one?
I'm gonna go back with the Cutlass Steel.
Okay.
Now
You're
that I see
revising.
the whole lineup, I
Hmm.
might give that a little higher score.
Okay. You're going 8 point what?
Just let's just say 8.5.
8.5. All right. There you go. You heard it here, folks.
Just looks pretty cool, but I hear you on the cost and the functionality, but
Any
it's pretty
more
slick.
any more
Some nice
revisions on the
reflectiveness
rest of the
there.
Cutlass line?
No, I'm gonna stick with what else I have there.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick with that. Yeah.
Now we're moving up to slightly bigger ships. Now remember, all these scales are accurate in relation to each
Right.
other. So this Corsair is that much bigger than the Cutlass
Cool.
Black in game. So now we're moving from a 36-meter long medium ship to a 52.5-meter long large ship. Okay. So this is the Corsair. Another controversial ship, I would say. It's one of my favorites, but this ship is definitely considered a solid multi-crew ship. This ship is really designed for you to go out with like 3 to 5 friends and have a good time. Why 3 to 5 friends? Well, you got to have a pilot. It's got a lot of guns on it. You got to have people to control those guns. There's engineering because there's a large interior. Engineering has to happen. This ship has separate staterooms for all of its crew members. It's got a galley, a eating area, a kitchen. engineering area inside of it, and a pretty large cargo area that can actually fit a vehicle, like a ground vehicle. So it's pretty big.
Cool.
One of the controversial things about it, it's an asymmetric ship technically. So you see that it's got one
Right. I
giant
see.
wing
The
on this
one.
side, two wings on this. So it's got kind of an asymmetric look to it. But there it is, the Corsair. What do you think of the Corsair? Where would you rate this one?
Yeah. First gut check, maybe at like an 8.6 for this one.
Okay,
I think it's so
8.6.
cool. Like the outside of it, like I like
Doesn't
the
appeal to
colors, like
everyone.
the
Some people hate
the
asymmetric
asymmetric.
ships.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me for some reason. I
Okay.
noticed it right away, but it didn't bother me. Love the function, like what you described is like how it functions. I think it's kind of cool.
Yep.
But no, overall, I think it's kind of a cool, different looking ship. I sometimes like when things are a little not symmetrical, like,
Okay.
and they did it. I think they did that well here. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. We're going to zoom out. Now we're going to a ship that we're growing in size again. So we're going from 52.5 meters. We're going all the way up to
Okay.
111.5
All right.
meters now. This is a ship called the Caterpillar. And this is kind of a unique ship. This will take a minute. This is considered a heavy freight ship with a crew of 4. I think you could probably jump that up to like a crew of 6. This is a modular ship. Okay, what does that mean? You see these sections up here? There's a front section, a section here, a section here, a section here, and a section here. These are currently in the game just cargo rooms that you can put cargo in. But in the future, there's
Okay.
supposed to be modules that you can switch in and out. So maybe you have 2 of them are cargo. This middle one you turn into a medical room. The next one you turn into an armory room. It's going to have these different rooms that you can modularly switch in and out. Okay, so it obviously gives you a lot of customability, if that's even a word, in terms of what the ship is going to do for you, right? It
Okay.
doesn't have to just be a cargo ship. You could turn it into a medical support ship, right? So it's got flexibility. The next thing it has is a command module, which is a feature we're finally getting added to the game next year. And you can see there's like this little ship connected to it. This ship here is actually how you fly the Caterpillar, but it can disconnect and act as a little mini ship as well, if that
Cool.
makes sense.
Yeah.
There's another ship coming soon that you're going to see in a minute that has that same functionality. It's called command module functionality. So that is the Drake
I like that.
Caterpillar.
Okay.
It's a ship
Cool.
that's been in the game for a long time. It's meant to, a key thing for this ship is its future modularity. I think a lot of people bought it with that promise. CIG has not delivered on this ship's modularity yet. It's really just a cargo ship and got empty cargo rooms in those modules. But in the future, when CIG can deliver on that modularity, this ship's value skyrockets because it goes from being just a cargo ship
Yeah.
to something much, much more. So what do you think of the Drake Caterpillar? Obviously a much bigger ship now, by the way,
Yeah.
115
Yeah.
meters, getting pretty big.
So that front section too, I know you said you can maybe do some different things with it, carry cargo, whatnot. But is that also supposed to be like a landing area too? I don't know, like small
Like,
ship landing area.
like
Am I
up here?
crazy? Like no, on the very top. Like no,
No,
I guess
yeah,
not.
it's just
No,
the
you don't like.
roof. You
It's
can't
not like
land.
parking spots there.
No, you can't. But if anyone from CIG is watching, and if you do any reconcepting on the ship, if you did put some extra small deck landings up there, that'd be really badass. So that'd be a really cool
That's what I
idea.
thought it was, kind of almost, is like you could also land little
Yeah,
ships there. But I mean, I'm gonna give this like an 8.8. I think it's pretty
8.8.
cool.
Oh,
I
this is our
like
new
that
front runner.
I, I like that you have a little ship that can, detach and do its own thing. I think
Yep,
that's cool. I like the red and the black. It looks slick.
yep, yep.
And
That
I like what you said about the functionality of it, that you got some like choices with
you'll
this
have that
ship. That's cool.
modularity. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Okay. Now we're gonna move to the next ship, and that is another 2 variants. This is one of the newer ships that was revealed, was it a year ago, 2 years ago? I forget. This is the Drake Ironclad, another one of my personal favorites. The Ironclad is 120 meters long. Just to give you a sense, Krista, in game, a player
Mhm.
character is 1.8 meters tall. So almost 2 meters tall. This ship is 120 meters long. So if you laid
Yeah.
someone on their back, it'd be, a lot.
Right.
It'd be almost 100. It'd be almost 60 people long in terms of the ship's length. So we're going to go down to the
Cool.
first one, the base Ironclad. So as you can see, it's got a command module on it as well. It uses that same sort of technology.
Yeah.
It's a bigger ship than the Caterpillar. Some people call it the Fatterpillar because it's kind of like two caterpillars next to each other. You can see this front area has sort of got almost this like kind of looks like a big hangar door on top. That door does open up and it's just a big empty area inside of it. This ship is meant to carry cargo, and it can carry a lot of cargo. If you remember back to our Cutlass Black, which is sort of a general purpose ship, it can carry 46 standard cargo units, right? 46.
Okay.
The Ironclad can carry 1,536
Wow.
standard cargo
Okay.
units. So a lot more cargo. Okay. We're starting to get
Cool.
where the Caterpillar
Yeah.
carried 576. So right away, this is carrying almost 3 times more cargo than the Caterpillar. Okay.
Okay.
Obviously,
Cool.
it's a big ship. Anytime you see a big ship like this, you can expect a larger crew count. There's more things for a crew to do on it, like man guns, man engineering, keeping the ship functioning, all that kind of stuff. Bigger ships mean a bigger, load on the players, right? There's more things that have to be taken care of. So what do you think
Gotcha.
of the Drake Ironclad? What's your rating for the Drake?
I think it's cool. There's some parts of it, especially like the front of the ship, that almost remind me of like a inside computer component or something.
Interesting. This is a Gavin
Right?
Rothery ship, by the way. He designed a lot
Oh,
of the
cool.
Drake ships. So.
Cool. Yeah. I like this one. I think it's cool. It does have like I don't know how to say it, but like, yeah, like almost like a computer component like vibe to it, but I like it. I think I'm going to give it I'm going to give this like an 8.7.
Okay, 8.7. One thing that this ship or that Drake has just kind of across the board is one of the things you've probably noticed about their design style is it's very like kind of complex looking. There's a lot of parts and pieces or like 3D greeble work on it. There's just a lot of things on it, right? There's a lot of ships in Star System that are very smooth and slick and stuff. You'll see that with the Origin manufacturer. As a matter of fact, I'll switch over to Origin real quick. You can see how Origin ships are like really smooth and slick, right? Even their large capital ship looks really smooth, almost like yacht-like, right?
Cool.
Where Drake leans more heavily into like more complex,
Like
think
this.
more brutalist design styles.
Yeah. Which I appreciate that. I like all the detail.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know what all these parts and pieces do, but it just looks like this ship could.
Well, for
do some cool
example,
stuff.
one of the things you'll notice with Drake ships is there's a lot of exposed stuff on it. So you can see exposed pipes on the engines and exposed parts and
Cool.
pieces.
Like very industrial.
Yeah,
Right?
if I go back to the
Kinda cool.
Cutlass series and zoom in on the engines, you can see parts of the engine here
Yeah.
sticking out. That is throughout
Kinda
all
like
their
that.
ships. Same thing here with the
Yeah.
Ironclad. You get parts of the engine showing up in the back. It's meant to be heavy. It's almost as if they don't care about being pretty. They just want the ship to function, right?
Yeah. Which is oddly, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Nacho,
again, I like the slick ships, but I kind of like some of that
yeah.
peeling back the exterior to show the interior kind of thing. That's cool.
Nacho in chat says, Miss Grimm, I bought a Kraken thanks to this man, meaning me. And we're going to get to the Kraken in a second, and there's a reason why they say that. So the Ironclad, you gave an 8.7. The Ironclads, I believe, are about
cool.
$400 if you were to buy them for the game. They're about
Okay.
$400. The next variant is the Ironclad Assault. This is just a version that is more centered around combat. It still has the big cargo area, but the cargo area is sort of split where one part of it's meant to carry ground combat vehicles. The other part is more of a repair center for ground combat vehicles, right? It's got some additional extra weaponry on it, but beyond that, the ship is mostly the same. I think it's going to have a little bit heavier armor. So it's going to be it's going to be a little harder to take down than the base Ironclad. It's just it's a little bit more of a combat focused Ironclad. So what's your thoughts on the Ironclad Assault?
I'd honestly probably give it the same score as the one previous. Still cool.
Yeah.
I like them both.
So 8.7.
I don't see like some crazy difference other than colors and like you said, maybe some functionality things. But
and it does have some of those.
Cool.
It does have like a crafting station inside of it to do repairs on the ground vehicles and some pluses like that. But we still don't know how much of a value that technically is yet, because in the future you're going to be able to put crafting little crafting machines on a lot of ships and stuff. So again, I think some of that remains to be seen how valuable it is. I do know people that own both the Ironclad and Ironclad Assault, and they're supposed to come into the game next year to fly. I think they're kind of waiting to see which one is the better ship, and then they'll sell the other one or melt it. So
Okay.
okay, we are
Cool.
going to move on to the let's see here. We're going to move on to the last ship for Drake, which is the massive Drake Kraken. As you can see here,
Some big boys.
yes, these are sort of aircraft carrier style ships. I'm going to zoom in. It's got big landing pads on it. You can see how these smaller ships could easily land on the Kraken, right? And be serviced there. So we're going to talk about the Kraken. Everyone, don't forget though, we are doing a giveaway tonight for the Elysium patch bundle. It's the cool black and gold Cutlass black armor or livery and the black and gold armor. If you want to get in on that and you're on YouTube, watch on YouTube, click on the YouTube link on the top of chat. Leave a comment on that video. We'll pull a random comment from there. If you're on Twitch, we'll do stream racers at the end. You can join that from the Twitch and get in there. We'll put both of those names in the wheel of names and spin it. Okay. So get in on that while you can. We'll do that at the end. Yes, sir.
We have an issue. Chat's like rioting because you forgot the Herald.
Oh my goodness. Did I forget the Herald?
You did.
That is
You missed
not,
something?
I missed a Drake ship. We'll add it. We're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. I don't know why it didn't get added. My fault.
I don't know how you can claim to be a huge Drake fan if you missed.
Well, because the Herald
the
is a
Drake
ship
ship.
I don't love. I'm going to be real honest with you. I don't love this ship, but that's okay. We're going to circle back to the Herald right now because I don't want to disappoint Trap. We're going to zoom into the Herald. There it is.
That's hilarious.
What is the Herald? It's the ugliest ship in my opinion.
It
The
does
Herald,
look kind of funny.
the Herald is a scanning ship, much like the Cutter Scout. It's meant to scan and do data running. So it scans, it gets data. It's meant to take that data out of dangerous areas, get it to good areas so people can sell that data and all that type of good stuff. It is a crew of one, although it's really meant for a crew of two, in my opinion. It doesn't carry cargo. It doesn't do anything like that. This ship's sole purpose is to fly fast and to scan for information. Okay.
Okay.
Think of it a little bit as a spy ship, right?
Okay.
It's not stealthy, but it's supposed to it's meant to get data through scanning and then get the hell out of there super quick. So Drake Herald,
Now,
what's your score for this beauty?
I know you gave me a little of your bias by saying you didn't love it, but when I saw it initially,
It's a hacking ship.
It has a little bit of this is going to sound weird, a little bit of a sad bird feeling to me.
Sad bird. I love that. I
I
love
don't know
that.
why. I feel like out of all the ships, it's not uncool. I do like the back portion of it a little bit better, like some of that exposed stuff that you mentioned is kind of dope. But I don't know, there's something about it that just looks like a sad bird head or something.
Yes,
But,
you heard it here, folks. It's the sad bird ship. Cyberwolf says it looks like a tick.
Like its wings are so tiny and
It's little baby wings, yeah.
For the proportion of the ship or something. So
It's got
I'm gonna give this.
It's got some pieces that fold out for scanning, so it's got this big array on it. But yeah, that is the Drake Herald.
But
yeah,
but it's cool that you said it kind of is a spy ship and stuff. So
hacking,
I'm gonna give
spy,
it
yeah,
little hacking spy ship, but it's kind of weird looking. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one maybe a 7.5.
Ooh,
7.5.
Okay, it's still a decent score for this thing. I don't know if it
because
deserves
it
it,
has
but
some
we're gonna give it-
redeeming things.
Yeah, and
Like
it's
the
a
back
small
end's
little
cool
ship.
enough that I'm gonna the back end's cool enough that I'm gonna give it some redemption. But
Okay. It does fly fast because it's got
But
big
of
old
the other-
engines on it.
yeah, the other ships are just little less lackluster, I guess.
Okay. We're moving on to the big boy now. We're moving
Okay.
over to the Drake Kraken. The Kraken's big. It's 270 meters long. It is currently the largest ship in Star Citizen that can actually land. There are ships bigger than the Kraken, but they actually can't land on the
They
surface of a
can't
planet.
land.
Yeah, they
Okay.
actually
That's
have to stay in space. They dry dock to they do ship to station docking, where the Kraken has the ability to land on the surface of a planet or in a hangar, which is kind of nice. But it's sort of
that's
the
cool.
largest landable ship we have in game. It is big. It's essentially a giant aircraft carrier. The main deck here can support 2 medium ships, like so 2 cutlasses. It's got 4 extra small hangars over or landing pads over here for like buccaneers. And on the other side, you can't see it's got 2 internal hangars that can be landed in as well. The ship can support a crew of up to 10, but more likelihood this is going to be a ship of 15 to 20. It is, again, considered a carrier ship. It can carry cargo too. It can carry 3,792 SCU of cargo. It's a ship everyone loves. It's probably one of the most popular ships in the game. It hasn't come into game yet, but CIG is building, or they are working on it right
Oh,
now. But that's
okay.
what it is. It's a carrier ship. It can repair, rearm, and refuel other ships and carry a lot of cargo.
Cool.
That's sort of what it does. It sort of was
Yeah.
sold to be almost like a mini space station for your org or your group of friends to have. So what's your
Yeah.
thoughts on the Drake Kraken, the mighty Kraken?
Well, yeah, cool. I mean, I can see why it's popular. It's a pretty badass ship. This is to me where like a like gun meets interior computer part
Yeah.
together. It's kind of cool. It has like a motherboard vibe or something.
Yeah, I see your vibe. Yeah, with
Do
the
you see?
detailing
Yeah,
work
am
on it.
I
Yeah, I can see it looks a little bit
okay?
like
All
circuitry.
right.
That's a cool. I've
A little
never heard that
circuitry, yeah.
before ever, by the way. So I love that.
That's so interesting. It kind of reads to me like that, like the
Mhm.
internals of a computer, but like the back end of it looks like some cool part of like a gun or something. But
Yeah,
I like it. I think it's pretty badass. It's huge. Does a lot of cool shit. Am I allowed to swear on here?
you absolutely
Okay,
can.
sorry. Just let it fly. Um, yeah, I'm gonna give this a little higher score. I'm gonna go like a 9 on this one. It's pretty
9.
dope.
Okay. 9.
Pretty cool.
It's deserving of a 9.
All right.
I
And
would
I'm not sure
say,
why I'm not doling out a 10 just yet, but I guess I'm waiting for this like I feel like maybe you're going up and you're
well,
gonna
here's the
nail
thing. I
something
would
cool. I'm
say
like,
this is
damn, that's a
my
10.
current favorite ship. There is
Okay.
one more ship in game by a different manufacturer that we're not going to cover tonight. There's one more ship that is in the running to be number 1 as well. It's called the
Okay.
Pioneer. When we get to an episode where we cover Consolidated Outland, you'll see that ship. But the Kraken is definitely one of the favorites.
Yeah, it's
In
cool.
our coffee mug cupboard, there's a black coffee mug that's got like a squid sort of logo on it.
Oh,
That
right,
is this. If I zoom
right.
in, you can see the squid logo right there.
Okay. Does that ever have anything to do with the booze?
No, no, but
Kraken.
sure.
No, I'm kidding.
All right, 9, love it.
That's cool though. Yeah, no, it's cool ship.
Now we're gonna move to a variant of the Kraken. This one is called the Kraken Privateer. What is the Kraken Privateer? It is mostly the same on the outside, but the differences lie on the inside. The inside of this, it loses a bunch of its SCU capacity. So remember, the Kraken had
Mm.
3,792. This one drops all the way down to 768 cargo. So you may ask yourself, well, where did all that cargo space go? It's been converted into shops and storefronts. So the idea behind this ship is that it's a
Interesting.
floating bazaar or a floating marketplace. Ships can come, land on the deck,
Okay.
go inside, go down the elevators, and there's essentially like a mini mall set up. So you can sell armor, weapons, items you
Oh,
find. Think of it as a floating flea market with a parking lot.
okay.
Okay. That is the
Interesting
Kraken
description.
Privateer. Where would you put the Kraken Privateer?
Interesting. I mean, I still think that this looks pretty cool, like the last ship.
Mhm.
It's interesting. I didn't know that they made ships for things like that.
Yeah, that is
What you
that
just
is
described.
that is another one of the gameplay loops is marketplace gameplay. There's only 2 ships
Ah,
that tie into that. This and another one by an alien manufacturer.
okay. Cool. Maybe I'll give this like an 8, 9. It's cool.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Not quite as cool as a Kraken. I
not
see.
quite
Okay.
as cool,
Why
but
why is it not as quite as cool as the Kraken? It's only 0.1 down, but what's the
I know.
reason?
Maybe more the functionality of it. I think it's cool that you can do the marketplace thing here and whatnot, but That and I don't know. There's some again. Maybe I'm just a little drawn to the darkness of the first one a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's why they're so. It's minimal, 8.9 and a 9. You know, but no,
Yeah.
I still like this one. I think it's cool,
Okay.
pretty dope.
Let me
It has the
zoom
same
back
kind
out.
of feel, but yeah, yeah. Now that I look at them,
So
like while you've zoomed out, I stand by my 9 and 8.9.
yeah. All right. So here's what we're going to do now. So Drake Interplanetary, one of the larger manufacturers in the game, not the largest, but one of the largest. There's some manufacturers that only have a couple ships. Drake is one that has a pretty complete lineup. It's also
Okay.
one of the more popular manufacturers. But here's what we're going to do as our last thing. We are going to, where did that go? Stand by. Let me add something here. Bear with me, everybody. Move that off to the side. Delete selected. One second, let me add some text. There we go. The last thing I want to do is I want you to rate Drake as a manufacturer. Where would you put Drake as a
Mm,
manufacturer on a scale of 1 to 10?
right. Oh man, this is tricky because I mean they have so many ships, and I know I started with some of
Mm-hmm.
them at more like an 8 point whatever, all the way up to 9. But when you see them as a set, I still would give it like a maybe like an 8.9 or something. Almost 9, I'd say. It's just
Okay.
yeah, it's a cool set of ships. They look pretty badass.
Okay.
Um, like the color schemes on a lot of them,
Mm-hmm.
like some of the parts and pieces on some of them. But yeah, you know what? Let's go solid 9 with Drake.
Okay, cool. And actually, let me grab one thing here. Let's see here. So yeah, and again, there's a lot of other manufacturers. It took us about an hour to get through that manufacturer. We're gonna take a pause real quick here, and I'm gonna talk about the contest again. If you want to take a short 2-minute break,
That would
Krista.
be great.
Okay.
All right. Be right back.
Switch back over to the full. All right, everybody, do not forget, we are going to be doing our giveaway pretty soon here. We're about 30 minutes away for that. I agree, everyone. She has a refined taste. I agree. I agree. So again, if you want to get in on that giveaway, it is for the Elysium download, or why do I keep saying that? Elysium patch bundle with the black and gold. Don't forget to get in on that. There is a link pinned to the top of the YouTube chat. You can leave a comment on that video. That is my battle cruiser video. And leave a comment there. It can be short, can be sweet, but put a comment there. We're going to pull one random comment, and then we're going to do a stream racers for all of you Twitch folks hanging out on Twitch. We're going to do a stream racers. You can do both if you want, but we'll do a stream racers, and we'll take the winner from that and the random comment that's chosen from YouTube side. We're going to put both of you in the random wheel of names, and we'll see who the winner is for this Elysium pack. I don't think you can buy this one anymore yet. So, yeah. WTC says, of course she has refined taste. She chose you. That's exactly right. Thank you, WTC. By the way, everyone, have an amazing group of people hanging out tonight. 107 over on Twitch with no raids, which is awesome, and 217 on YouTube. Amazing. Both of you communities really appreciate it. Hector says, super cool wife. Respect her for participation. Yeah, it's hard to come on and do something cold when you don't know anything about specifically what you're judging, but hats off to her for doing that. And then
So
yeah, go ahead.
I have a serious question. So about this drinking thing. First of all, I've never been invited, so shame on you. Secondly, are we talking like whiskey, vodka, rum? What are we talking about here?
Drinking thing. Well, we can get creative with it. We can get creative with it. That's what I'm saying. We can get creative
All
with
right,
it.
all right.
And yeah.
I just want to make sure you didn't forget my invite in the mail or
No.
the Discord
Your invite
somewhere.
has not been forgotten. Not been forgotten at all. Yeah, so this is definitely fun. We the other two manufacturers I chose for tonight, by the way, were the Origin, because they're such a contrast to Drake, and then Crusader. We don't have enough time to get through another big one like Origin because I don't want to keep Krista all night, but we are going to do Crusader Industries, okay? So we're going to switch back over and do that here. Again, everyone, don't forget to get in on that giveaway. Really appreciate it. Shout out to CIG, by the way. Big shout out to them. All right, going to switch back over here. Stand by, everyone. Stand by, and Krista is back. Switch back over. Welcome back, Krista. Welcome back. All right. Let me get up our next manufacturer. Now, Krista, I had pulled 3 manufacturers. We don't have enough
Okay.
time to do the other big one tonight. We'll do that in a part
Totally
2.
fine.
So we're going to do a smaller manufacturer. So we did Drake, which is great. Now we're going to do a manufacturer known as Crusader Industries. Can you see Crusader on your
Right.
screen?
I can.
Okay.
Yep.
So obviously smaller
Okay.
lineup of ships.
Yep.
Crusader Industries. I wish I had some of our lore nerds on here in voice, although Art, maybe you know better than me. The way I look at a Crusader is that they're actually sort of a blue collar ship manufacturer, not unlike Drake, but I think they're more refined than Drake. So
Mhm.
they're still lower tier, but instead of exposed pipes everywhere, they want to put some like panels and parts and pieces up to sort of hide it and make it a little cleaner here. Art, what do you think? Is that how you would describe Crusader? I'd love to hear your opinion on it.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're where it's at.
Cool. Okay. Crusader, they also focus on a limited number of gameplay loops, and that is pretty common amongst many of the manufacturers. They sort of focus on certain certain manufacturers. So, sorry, certain gameplay loops. Crusader generally focuses on cargo, combat, and passenger gameplay, and we'll explain a little bit about passenger gameplay. So passenger gameplay is think of that more as like either VIP tours for NPCs, like where you're taking a group of people on a VIP tour somewhere, or literally like airliner gameplay where you're transporting a bunch of people from one place to another. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Makes sense.
Let me get some windows right here. 1 second. Second here, just getting some windows ready.
Hopefully, my scores so far have been
They've been good. They've
well
been good.
received.
All right, so we're going to dive into it here. First one, we're zooming right on down to the Crusader Intrepid. You'll notice with all these a slightly different sort of
Yeah.
feel to these ships, you know? The
Cool.
Crusader Intrepid is considered a starter ship. It's really cheap to buy. It's for a single player, but it actually, as small as it is, and it's only 23 meters long, it actually has a pretty decent little interior. It's got a little office space in it, a bed, a little eating area, a little place for cargo, and they fit it all into this tiny ship. It's an asymmetric ship. You can see the cockpit's sort of off to the left side here, while it has this size 5 gun over on the starboard side. So it's got an asymmetricness to it, which is a little controversial. Some people hate that. But this is the Crusader Intrepid. It's kind of a general purpose ship. It's just for sort of getting around the verse. It can carry a little bit of cargo. You can go do missions in it. You can do a little bit of combat, a little bit of cargo, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. The general purpose ship just means it sort of does a few things okay, but nothing amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
But there it is, the
All right.
Crusader Intrepid. What do you think of this one?
I'm gonna give this like an 8.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's higher than I thought.
Okay. Simply because it's a little slick. I like the color scheme that they
Yep.
used. The
Crusader has some nice
asymmetrical.
colors. Yep.
Yeah, the asymmetricness of it.
Mhm.
That's a word too.
You got it.
I don't like as much on this particular ship, but I don't hate it. I think the gun's pretty dope in the front. But
Mhm.
yeah, it seems like you're a nice, like you said, standard kind of ship. So yeah, I'll give it a solid 8.
Okay, cool. There you heard it there, folks. Tigarius in chat says it's a 10. Oh, some people are saying it's a size 4. I thought they upgraded the gun to a size 5. Is it a size 4? Okay, maybe it was upgraded to a size 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Size 4 gun. The guns have different sizes, so there's size 1s, 2s, 3s, 4, all
Gotcha.
that. So,
Okay. Looks like a pretty dope gun though for such a small
yeah.
ship.
Next, we have 2 ships that are kind of in the same family, the Ares Starfighters. There's 2 versions, the Ares Inferno and the Ares Ion. They're really the same ship. The only difference is the gun. So if I zoom in on this one, you'll see the gun is like a big
Gotcha.
ballistic rotary cannon. And on the Ion, it's sort of an energy weapon. So think like a big laser weapon, right? Laser shoots laser blasts, right? Those
Cool.
are the two things. There's no interior. These are single seat fighters. They're considered heavy fighters though. So these are the ships the fighters you send out to do combat and like really hit hard. So for example, those guns on them are size 7 guns, so kind of large. Doesn't carry any cargo, doesn't have an interior. It's meant to go out and apply damage onto target. So
Gotcha.
we'll group
All
these,
right.
but give me a score for the Inferno and a score for the Ion. Again, one thing I'll
All
point out
right.
too on this, one thing I'll point out, probably should have did this earlier. It's okay, we're going to learn as we go, is that these are the base paints you're seeing on all these. You can
Mhm.
apply other paint jobs to them though.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So,
Cool.
but the reason I didn't focus too much on that here is I really do want to look at it, get your judgments as almost like someone coming into Star Citizen for the first time, and maybe they don't know that you can apply other paints to it. They may look at these and go, "I like the
Right.
black one, and I don't like white," not
Mhm.
knowing that you can switch colors in the game. So,
Yeah.
um, so there we go. Ares
You
Inferno. What
know,
do you think?
right. I see the differences, no doubt,
Mhm.
but at a first glance, and if I was like a new person coming into playing this game, I don't think at like a quick glance I would notice too big of a difference. So I might give them the score that's kind of close,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna give the Inferno maybe an 8.1 just for
Mhm.
that sweet ass badass gun
So yeah,
that it's got on there. And
eight
maybe an
point
8 for the
eight point
for the
one for the
Ares
Inferno.
Ion. Yeah,
Okay,
let's go a little
I agree
higher
with
than
that.
the one I just saw.
I am a
And then maybe that one's good. I'm gonna give it an 8.
Okay, I am a fan of the
That one as well.
Inferno over the Ares as well. I think most people in chat would agree with that. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
looks a little meatier, a
yeah.
little more badass, but yeah,
By the way,
both
everyone, we
kind of
have
cool.
107 on Twitch watching and 217 on YouTube watching. So around
Yeah.
300 and some odd people tonight. Thanks for hanging out and watching this very interesting stream. Hopefully you're all enjoying it. All right, next, we're moving to another series of ships by Crusader. This is the Spirit series, a very popular series of ships, actually. So there's the Spirit C1, the Spirit A1, and the Spirit E1. And we'll go through which role these ships do. So the
Okay.
C1 is for transport. It's for cargo, right? So it is a general purpose ship, a lot like the Cutlass Black. If you remember that sort of general purpose ship,
Mhm.
the Spirit's sort of a competitor to it. So it's meant to sort of carry some stuff. You can do some missions in it. It's got some guns on it. It's sort of a general purpose ship. The A1 is meant to bomb bomb bases. It's got a bomb bay
Mhm.
on it. It carries bombs. You can see the SCU cargo capacity on the C1 64. The A1 it drops to 0 because the cargo area is taken up by the bombs. Okay, so it's a bomber.
Okay.
The
Okay.
E1 is meant for luxury sort of transport. Think VIP first class transport. It can carry some people, like I think it's 6 to 8 passengers is like VIP transport. Okay. And there is passenger
Okay.
gameplay coming to Star Citizen where you have to like keep them happy and role play all that. So it is a pretty big ship, 47.5 meters long, so you're starting to get, a decent amount bigger than the Intrepid at
Yeah.
its 23 meters, the Ares at its 27 meters. We're now climbing up to 47 meters long.
Yeah.
Again, it has a crew of 2. They sit up here at the very front, but there is a lot of space for additional people to be on the ship. So what do you think about the Spirit C1?
Cool. And can I just say too, is this meant to be like a set that's almost like the next level from the set that you just showed me?
Yeah,
Because they look.
I think you could consider this a bit of a
Is that a
starter.
silly
Oops, I just messed it up by
observation?
doing the auto layout
No.
thing. Sorry, I just messed that up. That's okay. Let me
Dare
unlock
you?
this. I hit the auto button. That's okay. We're still good, everybody. We're still good. Let me lock the canvas. Where's my
Cool.
other one? Okay, I'm just gonna fix one thing real quick here. Yeah, so they're meant to be they're kind of a step up from it. Like if the Intrepid is your starter ship, right? If the Intrepid is your
Right. It
starter ship,
looks
where
like.
for a single person, the Spirit is you are now moving up. You're now wanting to play with
Yep.
maybe just yourself, but maybe with a couple friends as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, that one again looks pretty slick. looks pretty cool.
Hmm.
I'm gonna give that like an 8.3.
Okay, pretty high score for the Spirit C1. Doesn't surprise me. The Spirit C1 appeals to a lot of people. It is a very popular
Yeah,
ship in the
I
game.
can see that. I can see that. Yeah, it's cool.
Next
This was
variant.
a little bit doper.
Yeah.
I like it, and again, I think because of what it does,
Hmm.
I know that it's a bomber plane, so that's kind of cool. Um, Again, maybe I'm just a little more partial to the darker, more badass looking
That's
ships,
fine.
but
That's fine. And look,
maybe
there,
we'll give this one like an 8.5.
yeah, okay, 8.5. There's a lot of people too that will purchase into this game and literally go, "Oh, I see the Spirit series," and sort of think they're all the same and go, "Oh, I like the black one," or "I like the this."
But you can
And
change the
yeah,
skins, right?
and they'll go that. But here's the thing. If you buy the Spirit A1 and you come into Star System with this ship only bombs. That's all it can do. You can't switch it over to the cargo version. It's only a bomber. Now, what you can do in Star Citizen, which I think CIG made a wise decision doing this, is you can melt this ship. And by melt, meaning it essentially means you're returning it to CIG and they give you store credit for it. That store
Mm,
credit you could then use to just purchase the C1 if you decide that you don't want to bomb, you want to just do general purpose, but you don't get your money back. You
okay,
just get the credit to buy this ship with credit, if that makes sense.
cool.
Um,
Yeah, they're both cool though.
okay, next variant is the, oops, where is it? Let me go up. It's right up here.
Lost it.
Is the E1. Now you'll notice on the E1, the difference is it's
Ah,
got this area up here on top with windows. That is
that's
where your
cool.
VIP guests sit. So this is sort of like a luxury Gulfstream sort of ship. So
Gotcha.
Spirit E1. What do you think
It's your
about
Gulf
that one?
Stream.
It's sort of your Gulfstream one.
Um, yeah, I mean, I know it doesn't function like the other ones, but it's clearly made to look a little bit slicker and cooler.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it like an 8.7. I
Oh
think it's
wow.
kind of cool.
That is
Well, wait,
that is a
you
high
know what?
score.
An 8 point. No, wait. Let's go to 8.5. I lied.
8.5.
I got excited,
I
but no,
love that.
I like the metallic nature of it. I
Yeah.
think it's cool.
It's got a little bit more
Um,
of a champagne kind of rose
yeah,
gold kind of
rose
look to
gold.
it. And this one is not in game
Cool.
yet. The other two are in game. I do hope when this one does hit the game, I do really hope they preserve that sort of rose gold look to it,
Yeah,
and not
it makes it
change it.
unique.
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah,
CIG does
makes it stand
change
out.
from the concept imagery what the actual ship will look like. Sometimes they don't. I
Okay.
really hope they hang on to the rose gold look of that one though.
Yeah, no, that's what caught my eye about it. Actually, I think that's kind of unique, but it's cool. Yeah,
Cool.
like it.
Um, All right. So that is the Spirit series. Now these got a little jumbled, but that's okay. We
Ooh.
went through the Intrepid, we went through the Ares, we just went through the Spirit. Now we're going to go to one of the most well-known Crusader ships, and that is the Mercury Star Runner. So the Mercury Star Runner is considered a data running ship. It is pretty big at 56 meters. So you're talking like Corsair. Remember that asymmetric Corsair ship? This one's
Hmm.
about that size. It's actually
Okay.
pretty darn large inside. You can fit a ground vehicle. It's got a big mess hall area with a chess table. It's got bunk rooms for everybody, engineering areas, computer room where a bunch of computers are there to store the data that you are scanning for. You can see the radar dish there on the side for scanning. It's meant to be sort of a blockade runner as well. So the idea is when you scan that data, you're supposed to be able to fly fast and get that data out of that area. It's kind of, yeah, someone said in chat there, Cyberwolf said it's kind of the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars, but in this game.
Yeah, has a very Star Wars vibe
Yeah,
too.
it's got
I
some
get
Star
that.
Wars vibes. Yep.
Yeah,
What do you think about this one?
cool. I kind of like it. I'm gonna give it like an 8.6. I know it sounds
Okay.
weird, but like I like it. It's a little. I like that it has some character. It's a little roughed up.
Yeah.
Does a lot of cool different things.
Yeah. It's a fast ship. Um,
Fast. Yeah, exactly.
the
Seems like compact,
This is
but
one of those
yet
ships.
large.
Yeah, this is one of those ships though that the original concept was actually a little smaller, not as fat,
Mm,
not as big. And when CIG put it into production, there's kind of this joke that when ships go from concept into actual production to go in the game, they get
mhm,
fat and they get big. Not all of them do, but this is one of those ones that
gotcha.
definitely got bigger. The reason
Cool.
CIG made it bigger is they wanted it to have more room for certain activities within it, or for certain gameplay reasons. Again, there's some controversy behind that. Some people like the original concept of the Mercury Star Runner, which pretty much looked like this, but it was a little thinner, a little slimmer, a little sleeker. But sometimes that does happen where the ships sort of kind of grow and turn into something else through production. Because remember, these ships, because they have interiors and stuff, one way to describe them is they really are sort of like flying game levels where you can walk around and do stuff in them. You know what I mean? It's like having an entire gameplay level that flies around that you can control. So, all right.
Yeah.
So sorry, where are we at with Mercury Star
Oh,
Runner?
what did I say? Like an 8.5 or something for that?
8.5. Okay.
And honestly, some of it is just because they left some character in there. They left like some of the, I don't know if that's like meant to be like burn marks or so. I don't
Yeah,
know,
that's
but
part of the texture set. Yeah. And these
I think
ships
it's kind of
too,
cool.
one cool thing with these ships is the more you fly them in the game, the more kind of roughed up they look. You actually have to get them
I
repaired to get them all cleaned
like
up. So
that.
all the ships can develop a little bit of that character when you fly them around a lot. So
Oh, okay, cool, cool.
yeah. Um,
Yeah, I know it's a little chunky looking, but I'm gonna give it an 8.5. Yeah, I feel good about that.
okay. Now this next ship's going to be an interesting one. We're going to pull out. This next ship is the Genesis Starliner. Now, why is this ship interesting?
It's
This
cool.
ship is interesting because this is a very, very old concept. CIG concepted this, I don't know how long ago, probably a decade ago, and it's still not in game. It's so old of a concept that it actually doesn't even fit the game metrics anymore. What that means is CIG is when they put this ship into development, they're probably going to reconcept it. Now remember, they've already sold this to people. They're going to reconcept it, and this ship is probably going to change in some pretty drastic ways. So what you're seeing here, and this is why a lot of people may still buy this ship because this is all we know of it. When it does
Right.
go into production eventually, it's probably going to look different. And it's something we like to warn people of when they're interested in this ship. But all we can do right now is judge it for what it is. So this is what we're going to talk
Hmm.
about. So it's an 85-meter long ship, so getting pretty long. This ship is meant to be an airliner. It's meant to transport people and do passenger airline gameplay. So when you're using this ship in the game, you're going to have a bunch of NPC passengers on. Your goal will be to fly them to the route, make the flight nice, serve them beverages, serve them food, make sure they're happy. It's essentially airliner gameplay. What's your thoughts on the Genesis Starliner?
It's an interesting ship. It's something I haven't seen yet that you've shown me. So,
Yeah,
I like it. I think it's kind of slick looking.
yeah. And as
I
you
don't know what
see,
those
it's
parts and pieces are on the larger wing part, but that's kind of dope that you can kind of see underneath there
well,
and
it's
get
the
like the
and
the
here's the
inside
thing: those
workings of it.
fans, which are supposed to be for sort of like hovering, those fans are probably
Okay.
one of the main things that will change in its reconcepting. They probably won't be
Ah,
there
okay.
eventually because CIG sort of moved away from that with Crusader. If you look at Crusader, you'll notice that ship does look a little different
It's
than
different.
it's got a different vibe, and it's just because it's so old in its concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. Let me give this one like I can't put my finger on it, but I'm gonna just say like an 8.4.
8.4. Okay, pretty good. I think our
Like it's
lowest
cool.
rating is like a 7.9. So so far, Drake, you said 8.7 or 8.4? Sorry.
I think I said 8.4, but you know what?
Okay, 8.4.
I'm already gonna change that. So let's go
Okay,
ahead with an 8.5 with this one too.
8.5. Okay, cool.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty slick.
And
But
and here's the funny thing: all your scores are kind of hovering around that eight number for both Drake and Crusader, and that's not completely out of whack. I find a lot of people
okay.
that like Drake like Crusader, and a lot of people that like Crusader like Drake. They do kind of occupy the same place for sort of a vibe perspective. They just come at it two different ways. They're sort of the blue collar ship, blue collar worker ship, the people's sort of ship manufacturer. They just come
Mhm.
at it from sort of two different directions. So it's interesting.
Gotcha.
By the way,
Okay,
everyone in
cool.
chat, thank you for the follows. Thank you for the subscriptions. You're all amazing. Really appreciate it. Got 115 watching on Twitch tonight and 213
Yeah.
watching on YouTube for a total of 330 people watching tonight. That's great. Really appreciate you. Moving off to the Starliner and
All
moving to
right.
our last series of ships. You can see them over here. This is known as the
Very cool.
Hercules series. Okay, the Hercules series is the C2 Hercules, the M2 Hercules, and the A2 Hercules, coming in at 94 meters, all three of them. So pretty big ships. We're going to zoom in on the C2 first because it's sort of the standard version.
Hmm.
C2 sort of standing for cargo version. Now you notice on the C1 or on the Spirits, those were the Spirit C1, the Spirit E1, the Spirit A1. Well, when we go to the Hercules, it's the C2 Hercules, the A2 Hercules. So these are sort of the big brothers of the Spirit series.
Okay.
So we had our Spirit C1. Well, the C2 is kind of the big brother of that, right? These are
Okay.
very big ships. The C2 Hercules is primarily meant to carry a ton of cargo, which it can carry 696 SCU of cargo. It carries it all internally. It has a ramp that lowers in the front, a ramp that lowers in the back. So if it carries vehicles, they can drive on and drive off. It has a crew of about 2 to 3. It's just kind of a really interesting looking ship. It's kind of a big fat ship, but it's really cool looking just in terms of its sleek lines and stuff. I've always loved the look of this ship. And the
Yeah.
C2 version is again a cargo mover, whether that is box cargo or vehicle cargo. That's what this ship does. It is a cargo ship.
Okay.
What's your thoughts on the
Cool.
Hercules? The C2
It's interesting
Hercules.
because I wouldn't have thought, and again, what do I know about ships? But I wouldn't have thought this was for cargo. It looks a
Mm.
little more intimidating of a ship, like it's
Yeah,
meant to be.
it does sort of
But
lean into itself a little bit, yeah.
right, like
Think of like a C-130
um,
cargo ship or something like that, or a C-17 Globemaster cargo ship. That's sort of what this is, yeah.
yeah, interesting. But no, I think this is a cool design. I like it. It looks like the ship itself, like I said, is meant to be a little intimidating or something, even though again it doesn't
Yep,
sound like it's a fighter ship.
yeah,
Um, but I like it. I think it's kind of cool.
yeah.
I swear, just looking at the set of them, like especially like pulled back, it almost looks like I know this is our brains
And
do
they're
this, but it does look like a little bit of a like a face almost with some horns. Like so,
yeah.
that's why I was like, it feels like a little more intimidating or whatever. But
And again, if I can move
um,
that Intrepid, which is that
I
little
like,
starter ship, over to it, you can
yeah.
see how much bigger
Oh
the
yeah,
Hercules is to the Intrepid. You know, it's a much bigger ship. It's kind of a big, heavy, slow ship, but it moves a lot of
yeah.
cargo and it moves it really well. So,
Cool. But I'm gonna give it some extra points just
okay,
for something I haven't seen yet, and it looks kind
cool.
of a different design. Looks cool. Looks intimidating. I'm gonna give it like an 8.8 maybe.
8.8. That's pretty high
A little
score.
higher
Nice.
with that.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
it looks
right. I
pretty
like it.
dope.
Now we're going to move to the another version of this, the M2 Hercules, which is essentially
Okay.
does the same exact thing the C2 does, only it trades a little bit of cargo. So the C2 did 696, the M2 does 468. Why does it carry a little bit less? Because it trades some of that cargo carry capacity for heavier armor and more guns. It's supposed to
Mm,
be the military cargo version of this. It's supposed to be because weight does matter in this game, so it's trading some of the cargo carry capacity for heavier armor, um, and higher survivability. Okay, but
all
again,
right.
you as a player have to judge what's more important: survivability with the armor and the lesser cargo, or is cargo more important to you and you're okay being a little bit riskier? So that's sort of the justification there between the
Yeah.
two variants. So what do you think about the
Cool.
M2 Hercules?
I might go just a touch higher on this one than the one
Oh,
previous.
okay.
Um, it's funny. I thought I would like more. How can I say it's not the ships aren't as chunky or whatever. I thought I'd be
Mhm.
drawn to that, but I don't hate these chunkier ships that are a
Yeah.
little wider and stuff. So yeah, what did I give the last one?
I think
Like
you
an eight,
gave it
eight
an
point.
8.8. You gave it a pretty high
Ooh.
rating.
All
Let's see
right,
here.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna give it like
8.8.
an 8.9, or an 8.9. Then let's give
Wow,
this one
8.9. See,
just like
this
a
is
little bit higher,
this is
just because
really
I think it
interesting.
also. Yeah, I do tend to I think the ones that have some sort of ability to fight back a
Mhm.
little bit, I tend to like a little bit more. But yeah,
By the way, we just hit 1,000 messages received in the chat today, so thank you,
all
everybody.
right,
Appreciate
cool.
it.
Yeah,
M2
hopefully
Hercules.
everyone's okay with my assessments here.
I think they are. This is gonna
For
give
my
us a lot to talk about.
non-game player.
I see the info runners. If Execute's still in chat, which he probably is, I see the info runners needs to do a stream like this. They need to bring some people that don't know anything about Star Citizen and doing more of these, because it really is interesting
Yeah.
seeing what people who don't play the game think of these ships. So
I
the
know, and I'm obviously judging this on totally random things,
yeah.
not what I think game players would. So
Now the
anyway,
A2 Hercules, the last of the variants. And we're going to back up for a minute.
cool.
Now, do you remember this Spirit A1, which was the bomber? Now, here's the important thing to know. This thing carries, I forget how much it is, 10 to 12 size 5 bombs, right? Size 5 bombs, pretty big. You know, they can hurt you for sure. This ship carries size 10 bombs. These are literally the biggest bombs in the game is what this ship carries. I forget how many it carries, but when this ship is flying overhead and you're on the ground doing a mission or something like this, if this thing flies over, you need to be very, very, very concerned, because just one of these size 10 bombs can devastate an entire area. And this thing can carry like 20 of these things. Okay. I forget how many it carries, but it carries a lot, right?
Yeah.
So that's the only goal of this ship, is to bomb things out into oblivion. Okay. So it is a bomber. What do you think of the A2 Hercules? Okay,
Yeah, like
MG
this.
says it only has 4, so it's 4 size 10 bombs. Okay, so there you
Okay.
go. But again, it's 4 size 10 bombs. So this thing can
Yeah,
really bring the pain.
I think of the 3 that look kind of like this, I like this one the best.
Wow, okay. And I should mention, again, because this one leans into that destructive power, that military, it's not just moving cargo, it's dropping bombs. There is a severe cost increase with this, and I'll explain that a little bit too.
Really? Okay.
So the C2
I mean,
Hercules, if you consider this about, in chat, correct me if I'm wrong, like a $450 ship, something like that. The A2 Hercules is like a $750 ship. So a good $300 price difference in real world dollars to get to this. I may
okay.
be off on the numbers, $50 here or there, but that's generally around where they are. I haven't memorized the cost of every single ship, but yeah, this is
Cool.
an expensive ship.
I think I'd go like a 9 for this one.
Wow, okay.
Just a touch, maybe an 8.9 or 9.
It's okay. Whatever
Maybe,
you
am I
feel.
being too generous?
No, no, you go with your gut
I
on
think it
this.
looks cool. Like the red black, looks slick.
There you go. Citizen Ninja just posted the price. So the C2 is
Which one's
$400. That's the general
Okay.
cargo version. The military version is $520. These are real dollars you have to spend
Okay.
to get this. And then the A2 down here, the bomber, is $750.
Wow.
So
Okay.
so a $350 price jump from these two variants here, based purely
Okay.
on its role, the bombing role.
Right.
Okay.
Which is a cool thing. It's a cool function, but yeah, it just looks cool. It's dope.
Okay,
I like it.
Okay, last thing with Crusader, we need to give Crusader a rating.
Overall.
Crusader Industries, obviously a different vibe than Drake. I think you saw that in just the way the ships look.
Yeah.
It's still a blue collar manufacturer, but comes at it at a cleaner, slicker way, a little bit more high tech than Drake, but definitely not the most high tech ships in the game. You know, this is not the Tesla of Star Citizen. There is a manufacturer that is kind of the Tesla of Star Citizen. This is more of this is probably something like a I don't know what a good equivalent would be, but again, it's a blue collar manufacturer that does things in a little bit higher end than Drake, where Drake is like, we don't give a damn what it looks like. It just needs to do its job. This manufacturer goes, well, we do kind of want it to look a little cool. You know what I mean?
Cool. Looking at my scores and looking at the set of ships here, maybe I would do like an 8.5 just overall. I think they look all pretty slick.
So a little bit under
There's something
Drake.
about the Drake I like that's industrial about it. Like I like a slickness of a ship, but
See,
yeah,
chat,
I don't know.
I married well. This is a woman who appreciates Drake Interplanetary. On my desk, no, you all can't see it, but on my desk, underneath all my junk, where my big laptop mouse pad and stuff is a Drake Interplanetary mouse pad. So yes, I am all about Drake. Krista, you did a great job. You covered Drake. You covered
Hopefully I did.
Crusader. On our part 2, at some point in the future, we're going to cover Origin, which is a very different manufacturer, and we'll probably cover another big one like Aegis or RSI. There's a bunch of manufacturers in this game. Origin will definitely want to be one of the next ones that we cover, though. But you did an awesome job. What do you think you walked away from your first stream with? What was the experience like?
Yeah, I mean, it's been fun. It's been cool. It's totally different than something I would be. I
It
feel like I should be judging, but
if
but
yeah, if you've ever wondered what I'm doing in my office for 2 hours at a
this is
time,
it.
this is it.
No, I fully support. I think this is cool. I mean, hey, if you're gonna be into something, this is not a bad thing to be into. These ships are pretty dope.
Yeah.
I can see the appeal. That's why it's like,
Yeah.
yes, I'm a child of the 80s. I like my Mario and whatnot, but
Yeah.
like I could see why this is super cool and super fun to play.
Yeah.
So I
It's
appreciate it for that. And I think the designs are like overall, like you
yeah.
can tell people really, put some thought and effort into this. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it.
I will in our part 2 episode, by the way, I'll probably show you a few more ship commercials. I'll have those queued up so you can get that
Okay.
context. But because I did see Cosmic Turtle in chat says show her the Kraken commercial, I will have to show you that.
Okay.
We'll do that on the part 2 episode because I don't want to keep you too long tonight, and we're kind of at time
All
for
right.
you.
No
But I know
problem.
chat enjoyed having you on. We're going to do the giveaway, everyone, so don't go anywhere. Everyone stay on. But we're going to release Krista so she can go relax
All right.
finally.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I
Everyone
appreciate
chat,
it.
give Krista the old 07. Krista, everyone will do 07, which is sort of a salute and thank you.
Thank
So
you.
everyone will hit the 07s. Thank you for joining us tonight, and I
All right.
appreciate you, and hopefully you can go relax now.
I will. No, thanks again for having me. Hopefully, my scores are appropriate.
I will say here, Socially Confused just said your child of the 80s comment is shocking. He thought you were 15 years younger than me. No, it's just because I look
Nah,
really old. She's actually
I'm older.
she's older than me.
Yeah, I'm the oldest here.
Yeah, she is the oldest. She is the oldest. She robbed the cradle with me. Yeah, she is the
Yeah.
oldest. We work for the same company, and she's technically my
Mhm.
boss. So there you go,
Not
everybody.
awkward at all.
Yeah, not awkward at all. But
Nah,
yes,
it's
no.
not. It's
Krista,
actually
thank
not.
you very much. I
Yeah,
appreciate you.
thank
And
you.
we're gonna go over to the solo camera now and do this giveaway.
All right.
Thanks, Krista.
Thanks so much. Yeah, take care, everybody. Take care.
See you, Krista. Good to talk to you again.
Bye, Art. Thank you.
All right. I'm here with Art. It's time to do this giveaway, everybody. Let's swing over to, I'm going to swing over to here. We're going to be, let me turn off the guest cam. There we go. We are going to be doing our giveaway here for the Elysium patch bundle. Let me go ahead and pull up Comment Shark. We got to have that up. We're going to pull Comment Shark over so everyone can see it. Chat, I'm sorry I didn't get to any questions today, but I hope that is okay. It was a fun, different type of episode. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Art, what did you think of this this sort of way of doing things? I thought it was kind of interesting.
I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed having somebody who had absolutely no idea
Yes.
of what it was, and just looking at the ship, getting a couple minutes, and just
Yes.
putting them on the spot,
Yes.
and immediately was like, "Tell me what you think."
Tell me what you think of this. I look forward to hearing what Execute's thoughts are on this soon. I'll have to quiz him on that. Okay, so we're gonna do 8 p.m. start time for today's date for this. I hope you all got your YouTube comments in. So I'm gonna pull the YouTube comment now. I want to do this giveaway here. We've had an amazing amount of people show up tonight. Everyone, don't forget to hit the follow button if you haven't. Hit the subscribe, hit the thumbs up, hit all that stuff. It really does help. I appreciate you all. Thank you for the follows, by the way, tonight. Just seriously amazing. And again, sorry I didn't hit questions, but we will do a question show very soon. Piggles is ready to test the chat bot, so we'll get it done. I know we still have some testing to do on the other chat bot we were messing with as well. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and do the random YouTube comment. Got it set for 8 p.m. start time today. Here we go. The shark is hunting. The shark is hunting. Let me pull up the wheel of names here. All right, Riddick. Oh my gosh, Riddick again. Riddick won the other night, but he didn't win. He was just a finalist. Riddick, congrats. I'm going to put your name in the wheel of names now. There you go. Or actually, no, was Riddick the one? I can't remember.
Are you talking about with the last one that we had?
Yeah.
Forever ago.
Yeah, I think it was.
It was no, I think it was like something Mandalorian or something like that.
Oh yeah, you might be right. You might be right. Yep. I think you're right. All right, Riddick. There we go. Riddick is in there. Now we've got to go to Stream Racers, and that's going to take just a second to queue up. So bear with me, everybody. And I'll tell you how to join that. Stand by. Art, out of curiosity, what is your favorite manufacturer?
I'm an RSI man.
An
I like
RSI
my killer
man.
Doritos.
I agree
my
with that.
Perseus,
I
my
agree with that.
Polaris. I you know.
What would you
can
say is
argue
your What would
even-
you say is your favorite ship then?
Ooh. I like the Polaris. I'm a
Okay.
big fan of the Polaris.
I think the Polaris is incredible.
That being said, once I get my hands on the Perseus, that may change. But as of right now,
yeah, I still think I still think the Polaris is a high watermark for CIG and ship design. I really do. That is an honest statement. All right, everybody, I'm going to switch over here. If you want to get in on this race, you know what you got to do. You got to do !race in chat. You have to be on Twitch for this, everybody. We picked our YouTube winner. Now we're going to do the Twitch winner. If you want to get in the race, you need to do !race. To get in on that, going to give everyone a few minutes to join. Make sure you go ahead and get in on that !race to get in on this. 50 racers already queued up.
Now, you did tell me that if I win, I get a day off, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Actually, absolutely not. Let me change that. No, everyone, make sure you give Art a giant 07 in YouTube and Twitch. He does a ton of work to keep me organized and has really transformed how I approach streaming. We're still sort of getting the new ways and new things he's implemented sort of in the pipeline for how we do shows, but we're making headway, and he's already done a ton of work on multiple fronts, from chatbots to show notes and show organizations. It's really more on me now to sort of get those things fully adopted, get the content prepped and planned in those ways. So, you know, big shout out to Art for all that. Art is a good dude. We really appreciate him. All right, everybody, we got 84. Get your race in, get your !race in chat if you want to join. We're going to start this here in just a minute. You don't have too much more time to get in. It'd be nice to have 100 racers at least. I think we can do it. Can we get 12 more people to do !race? Do your !race. We got a good amount of people here piling in. Remember, this is for the Elysium patch bundle, the really cool black and gold paint for the Cutlass Black, and the gun and matching armor for it. Oh, and I did get the note about unique authors. I will do that. I will make that correction in the future. Nandeo, thank you very much for that call out. I will make that correction in the future. I will do that. Art, let's make sure we remember that for the future.
Already got it pinned.
Cool. Thank you. Nandeo, thank you for that, and thank you for passing along that heads up. Okay, two more people needed to get us over the 100 play or the 100 racer mark. So let's get two more !races. Come on, everybody! !race will get you in on this. And once you're racing, once we're doing the race, you can do !boost to get a limited boost in your speed. But remember, be careful not to do it on a curve. It'll throw you right off the track. All right, everybody, we're over 100. We're going to hit start. You got 20 seconds for any remaining people to get in. I'll try to keep the camera focused on the action. This is going to be a big race. We got 103 racers ready to go. Get ready, everybody. We're going to do this. We'll put this person's name in the wheel of names, and then we'll spin it, and that will be your winner for the Elysium patch bundle. All right, here we go. Here's all of our racers. I always got to relearn the controls. All right, they're off. Looks like Wraith has taken a lead. Maybe Sandgroper.
I'm always at a disadvantage because I've got
Oh,
the delay.
yeah. Oh, Wraith landed on the track. That was a good landing. Oh boy, here comes the pack. That is a large group of people. Eddie Kilowatt bringing up the rear, but he's doing so in style. There they all go. This is a large field of racers here. Let's get a nice turn shot here. There goes Wraith, still in the lead. Commander Catch Up, Citizen Ninja, Lazy Donuts, Lord Wutkus. Oh, that is a tight field. That is a tight field of racers right there. Don't forget, everyone, exclamation boost will give you a little bit of boost, but you want to be careful doing that on the turns. Oh, Wraith got held up and a car went off the track. Is Wraith going to hold this lead the entire time? I don't know. Uh-oh. It does look like Cracker Annie Main. Hopefully I said that right. Cracker Man took the lead. Riggsy just flew off the track and went to the river.
Words are hard, Graham.
That's true. Words are pretty hard, especially for me. Oh, Wraith just used his boost wisely and pushed up to the lead. We're going to follow the lead pack here for a minute. Lord Watkins just crashed into the wall. Wraith is doing a great job on the race today. Stay with it, race. There goes the rest of the pack. They have really spread out now across the entire racetrack. There we go. Everyone's piling across. I don't see my name. I did join the race, but just for fun. I don't know where I'm at. Stuicus. See a whole bunch of people. Let's catch up and let's see what's happening at the beginning of the pack. There looks to be a lot of people that hit that ramp and is having a hard time. Oh boy, we got a mess here, everybody. I see Poutine, Sandgroper got caught up in the mess. Wraith looks like he's still in the lead. Oh, I think this is going to be Wraith all day. Ran a fantastic race and even went through the thing. Wraith, congratulations on that. Let's watch everyone come in and see how they do. We got 60 seconds of watching people come in at the end here. Some are going through the hoop, some are not. That was a good Wraith. I will say, usually the lead changes back and forth many, many times, but Wraith really kept it locked down. I got to say, that was impressive. You stayed in the lead almost the entire race. Almost the entire race. Watching the rest of the field come through. There's Hebford bringing up the far rear, or at least one of the rears.
I just like the guy on top.
Yeah, he's hanging out. Accuracy, and his name is Accuracy. Accuracy 158, holding the top of the hoop. Oh, man. Yeah, Accuracy, that's a hell of a landing there. How many more do we have up on the field? We still have a few racers on the field. Some of them are not going to be able to finish. Even Restream bots out there. Corazil up, but it almost made it through. There it is. So Wraith TB. We're going to switch back over to our left monitor here. We're going to add Wraith TB into Wraith TB. We're going to lid that because we're going to add that name to the list. Okay, we're going to hit spin here. The winner of this will win. Now let me say how this is going to work. If you win, you need to contact me on Discord. You need to send me a friend invite on Discord, StarJump_Grim. You got about 2 days to do that. After 2 days, I will contact the runner-up and give them the prize. Okay, that's how it works.
Do you want to, Grim? Do you want to copy and paste those names a couple times to split the field up a little bit more?
Yeah, I can do that. Why not? Make it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. Oops. Okay, here we go. All right, everybody.
Love it.
Here we go. Good luck to Riddick. Good luck to Wraith TB. Hope, actually, let me fix my chat here. Okay, there we go. All right, here we go, everybody. Good luck. Appreciate you all. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the subscriptions. You're all amazing people. Love you. We love you. We seriously do. Here we go. Good luck, everybody. Spinning in 3, 2, 1. Riddick got it. There we go, everybody. Congratulations, Riddick. Riddick is a longtime StarJump follower. So Riddick, congratulations. Thank you very much. You've actually come in second place on, like, runner-up on so many contests. That's actually good. You win one. Riddick used to be was Riddick used to be a mod? I can't remember. Either way, Riddick, congratulations. Appreciate it. Moving forward, by the way, yes, and I forget who did that comment, but yeah, moving forward on the future streams, we'll make sure to limit the amount of comments one can leave to eliminate those duplicates. But thank you, everyone. That was awesome. Really appreciate it. This was a good stream. I'm curious to see what Krista's opinion will be of manufacturers like Origin and stuff like that. That's going to be kind of interesting, just because it's so different.
I do like the fact that the Herald was called the Sad Bird.
The Sad Bird. It's got a new name. I don't know if any CIG folks are lurking, but the Herald is now the Sad Bird. I'm just going to say it. It is what it is.
And the bottom right now at 7.5.
Yes. Yeah. Oh man,
So
that's
the Sad Bird is truly sad.
Yeah, the Sad Bird is truly sad. That is very true. Very, very true. Okay, we're going to send you over to, I've got the name already here, so bear with me. I'm going to send you over to, actually, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Where is it? Yep. Going to send you over to, and I hope you hang on and give a little bit of that love, a little bit of that STARJUMP love, spread the love. Going to send you over to Smashly. Make sure you give Smashly an 07, a thumbs up, all that kind of good stuff. Spread that STARJUMP positivity. I really appreciate it. Art, I appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you all enjoyed this kind of interesting, weird stream. I know Krista thought it was pretty cool, and I really appreciate all the kind words spoken to her. So going to go ahead and start the raid. We do have more shows coming, including a special one that Art is putting together that I think you all are going to really like. More info on that one soon. So with that being said, with our last 10 seconds here, do something kind for a stranger. Be good to each other. IAE is merely weeks away. It's an exciting time. And have a great night, everyone. Appreciate it.